Futures back to positive territory here as we get going on a Friday morning, trying to stay to the upside here, coming off a huge move to end the day yesterday. Right across the board, we had everything back to the upside, led by NVIDIA, led by tech, specifically NVIDIA once again today, if you haven't looked. Gapping back to the upside, more positivity around this to the tune of 2.2% already. That being said, only just 0.05 for the NASDAQ this morning. So yeah, we are positive, but only just. Not much in the way of economic data to speak of this morning. We are supposed to get a few Fed speakers coming through. They haven't really been that significant over the past couple of days. Comments still on the hawkish side for the most part. The past couple of days coming from the Fed. So we'll see how things play out later on today. We're looking at Apple as well, coming off that 180. Sharif and I were talking about that in the pre-market here. We'll touch on Apple, we'll touch on Microsoft again going into the weekend here. What a week it's been. EVs back in play as well. More negativity for Rivian to end the week. Back to the downside. It's Friday, February 23rd, 2024. Tradertv.live starts now. Yeah, there's Rivian 2 days in a row here to the downside, right again this morning to the tune of about 2% already, or 1.83 right now. More analyst moves, more downgrades, negative talk on Rivian and their production issues, including from Elon Musk, who, I mean, I'm sure we'll touch on this coming up, but doesn't think they have much time left, which is not a good look, obviously, for Rivian, but we'll see. Just to recap, if you were away yesterday, it was a very, very positive day, almost 3% for the NASDAQ, 2.96 when all was said and done, 2.1 there for the S&P 500. The Dow and the Russell lagged a little bit. Dow basically flat, 0.96 for the Russell. Good to see it back in positive territory. We're basically flat here to kick things off this morning. A ton of things with earnings to talk about today. CVNA, we have Square as well, or Block, both surprising to the upside, so stronger than expected. Happy Friday.
Likewise, I love how Elon has to dictate to people how their life should go. If you're not sleeping on a couch in the factory, Brendo, you're not doing your job. Yeah, he took to X yesterday and he let the Rivian team know exactly how he feels about that. We'll talk more about Rivian getting a double downgrade today from UBS. Also on watch NVIDIA. This has to be the quickest from 1 trillion to 2 trillion ever. I don't know the data, but it really feels like this was super quick.
$800. I mean, we were talking about 700, it seems like.
Unreal.
I mean, it was 3 days ago. It's crazy. Morning, guys.
Yeah, it's great, absolutely crazy. Hey, man, if Elon has some thoughts about what goes on in the EV space, I mean, he's entitled, right? I mean, he's a player in the game. If he wants to help out competitors with advice, that's up to him. I mean, that not necessarily would be my jam, but Carvana, wow, 30% on Carvana. We're talking 2 trillion market valuation on NVIDIA potentially today. The 800 level is like a yo-yo right now. You've been back and forth overnight a few times. Intuitive landed on the moon. So Lunar is going to be flying around and probably creating a bunch of puns in the midday show, I would suspect today. But yeah, it's going to be a wild one to end this week, man. Square, unbelievable numbers by them. For Square as well, so, or Block, whatever you want to call it. The growth in the Cash App, fantastic. We'll talk about all this. Eyes on the chips, eyes on Rivian because it's back at that $11 level. That was a great bounce yesterday. We'll see if it can't happen again today. It's just going to be a wild one. And SMCI with an offering, because, I mean, why not raise some money?
Yeah, what is SMCI even at? I haven't even looked yet.
950 maybe?
Actually, right, 950. Yeah, 950. All right, welcome to the show, everybody. Yeah, it should be a good day here today. Lots of stuff happening. We had a great market recap show. We have Square, we have Carvana. Yeah, the sticky notes out. Square's on there. I really like AMD today for a chance here to take down that 184. We have a little bit, we have a little bit of room to go right there from yesterday, but that's that high. We'll see if we can take that out. Lots happening today on a Friday.
Question for you before we go back to the desk.
So
how much? No, well, it's not market related. We'll have plenty of market related stuff to talk about. How much yelling did you do when Gia was playing at the game last night?
Not that much.
You sure? No,
I'm just the most overworked guy.
You got the dad voice going.
Yeah,
on there. I know what it's. I know how that goes. But,
dude, I mean the energy. Honestly, you're right. I mean, she got a goal. She was the player of the game. It's what she does. But the thing is like, it's all this stuff, man. We had the greatest show in Trader TV Live history Wednesday night with the recap show. We followed it up yesterday. We're exhausted. We're putting on the bangers, man. Maybe it's time to take a vacation. You guys want me to take a vacation? Maybe we book next week off and we get Obi sitting here. We'll see how it goes.
Baseball
Nah,
started.
psych, I'll be here. And then
time,
all
maybe.
day tomorrow, I'm at baseball evaluations, yelling again, probably at some kids. But that'll be a lot of fun. I'm ready.
Gotta hit them
forward to that.
fungos.
Melly as well
Yeah, Mercado Libre,
today.
they're moving up. That's not that tradable. Melly's obviously super expensive stock. We'll look at it. We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of stock that nobody trades because it's 1,800. It's just way too
Yeah,
expensive.
that'd be funny. Cool vibes. Sean needs to start calling soccer games. Yeah, that'd be hilarious. Then I would lose my voice so fast. It's pretty good. Yeah, we'll get some water. We'll get some stuff going here. I woke up with a headache for some reason. So, yeah, thank you so much, Imagine. Thank you for some of the people who are sending in emails to our team here about that show on Wednesday. So, yeah, look, really proud to be here with everybody. Let's just keep it going. But today is another day, and it's a Friday, and it should be another good day. We ended yesterday really on high notes. We talked about that. Bitcoin not doing too good, though. Bitcoin under 51 right now, breaking a little bit lower here. So that'll be something. We'll look at Mara, obviously.
I was talking about that with Patrick. Mara could not break 25
Yeah.
yesterday, no matter what Bitcoin was doing. It looks a little weaker today. If 50,000 were to go, Mara seems like a short.
Yeah, well, Mara's
today.
already down to 2350 right now. All right. Yeah, Tisha Perkins, we'll get some Hydration Nations. And yeah, everyone, don't worry about it. I'll be here next week, and we will see you guys in a couple minutes after the desk. I don't know if we have a guest today or what. I don't know, Norm.
We're supposed to have.
Who?
Oh, we're supposed to have Michael Noss, I thought. But
Oh, Michael Noss. Okay. Back over to the desk.
PHUN just did this, 20% or 19.5 right now. 1 for 50 reverse split coming through here for PHUN. There was a time, it's already penny stock. There was a time where this would make these things go crazy to the upside, but not today for this one. So Funware back to 20 cents here, just be aware. That thing had a huge move over the past couple of weeks and months with DWAC, obviously Trump related. For PHUN, yeah, NVIDIA euphoria to say the least here to start things off on a Friday. 800, as we said, it's just impressive is the only word that accurately describes how to look at that. I mean, we touched on Rivian, we touched on Lucid a little bit yesterday. As far as weakness is concerned, I think we have to look back at these again today.
Yeah, 100%, Brendo. I definitely agree, especially with UBS coming out with a double downgrade today, basically from buy to sell, foregoing neutral entirely. The price target of, I believe, $4 or $8, something in that vicinity, down from like mid-20s. So a bit of a tough look there. Obviously, that's going to spur some selling, so giving opportunities intraday to trade.
There was this comment that I just wanted to grab this. Here we go. CEO RJ coming out saying there's a pretty significant vehicle change planned for Rivian as well. I mean, he was saying pretty much anything he could, I think, yesterday to kind of calm the storm. But yeah, 2 days in a row here, guys, not good. We're going to have Michael Noss come through in a few minutes. He's going to wrap up his post-earnings ideas. If you've been with us over the past couple of weeks, specifically on Friday, we've touched on, you know, if you get a huge move off of earnings, waiting for that consolidation to happen, then looking to enter. We'll touch on maybe Rivian with Mr. Noss coming up here, guys.
Yeah, like the thing about Rivian is it's way closer to that place it bounced yesterday than the areas that I think you want to short, because like there's 1150, there's $12. I think those are obvious. If it breaks 11, flat bottom break, but it's SSR, so you can try to get it. Maybe it fills, maybe it doesn't. I just think if it bounced off there once and gave you a 50-cent win, risking about 5 cents, I'll look for that same trade as a first look because it's got a double bottom with it in the pre-market. But you got to say everything. I mean, pull out everything, Randy. Like if you're RJ, like Rivian, the market dictated and said, we're not waiting around for you to bring us this new release. We're just going to take you down to this $11 level. You were saying interesting to buy the dip before they actually have the new car come out, but we're not waiting. The market's not waiting around for that.
I think there's good things coming though. So buy the dip. Sit on it.
Yes, it's always coffee time, sir.
No, I'm gonna pass. I got a real coffee here today. Yeah, I got a real one. The coffee here tastes like A something.
It's not as bad as
you
yesterday.
honestly can't.
It's not as bad as yesterday. It's not as bad.
Okay, if it better be better, like a lot better than yesterday. Yesterday was really brutal. The whole week has been brutal. I won't be having any. Yeah, look, Rivian is. Yeah, I mean, I would think they would need to make major changes to their vehicle. I mean, I think that would be right. It's been a pathetic destruction of wealth. Is what it is. It's at 52-week lows. This name came out at what was the high? I think it came out at 108. Went up to like 140, 150. It's now down at $11. Thanks, RJ. You're the man. Like, this has just been so great, so amazing. And let's just see how much lower Rivian can go. $5, $4, $3, $2, $1, and gone. Elon is, what did he call this, a zero? So we'll see.
You said that before.
We'll see where it goes, man. Thanks, Robert Bridges, man. I appreciate that. Trying to add some funness here to the show. But yeah, look, I mean, if I'm going to take Elon Musk versus this guy, I would take Elon 100 times out of 100. But I still think there might be something there. I mean, you're buying a stock at its all-time low that loses billions of dollars and has no love on the street. Maybe it's the worst it could get. You know, so we'll see. I mean, you're waiting for, what was it, March and change, 7th or something like that?
7th.
Yeah, so I think you just gotta
arm.
you gotta hope and pray at this point.
Which is a lot of stocks. Like that's the reality. Like you always talk about like buy best of breed, but if you do take positions on stocks that are companies that are not doing well, you have to remember before Uber was now in the S&P 500, Uber lost more money than any company in the history of the world. Mm-hmm. And then they figured it out. Now, I don't necessarily think Rivian can be Uber because Uber is a leader in its space.
Yeah, not even close.
But it doesn't mean that it can't be one of the few EV names that actually figures it out. There's like Polestar, like Volkswagen is pulling away from funding Polestar, PSNY. Yeah, so like the bad news across the space is nasty. Like it's everywhere. Lucid had a bad report. I think at this point it's a shot play. I think
Rivian down 95%. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Now it's a shot play.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to believe in Bitcoin, but if Bitcoin goes from 60,000 down to 4,000, you might want to buy it.
Well, 4,000.
I'm saying it's the equivalent of this, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, we buy.
You know, so if Bitcoin, this is a good, it's a good point. Neil's already said it, and if you're willing to have your dollars go to zero, Rivian might be the play for you. Might.
Or Moderna.
No. I think the problem with Rivian is the EV space. There's just so much competition. It's like what you said before. Uber is literally on an island by themselves. You know, I mean, Lyft is hovering around there, but Lyft only operates in North America. Anyways,
Casey, I'd take that bet. Casey, I still have NVIDIA bankrupt 2092.
2092?
It's a
bankrupt.
That's a bold statement, Cotton.
I've been selling some NVIDIA.
I hope to still be around to be able to see how that works out, Casey.
My wife wants a Rivian, so I either have to buy a whole bunch of shares now and hope it goes up, or I don't know, just hold on to my NVIDIA.
Or buy a bunch of Tesla shares and then use the Tesla shares to buy the Rivian.
I mean, I bought.
And if Rivian's not around by that time, then you're good to go. Just buy a Tesla with the.
I mean, like we bought Tesla at 186. It's at 196. Yeah, that's not enough to do anything.
No, but Tesla's holding 180 really well. Really well.
Bucks.
The 180 hold on Tesla's great.
Yeah, well, we don't have much success around here with EV stocks. See Lee Auto. All right, over to the desk. Let's see what Michael Noss has to say.
What's up today?
Yeah, we teed it up. Let's get a look at a few other earnings movers that we've not necessarily brought to everyone's attention over the past couple of weeks, Mr. Noss. But to kick things off, I mentioned, this thought of big move after earnings, wait for the consolidation, then we're looking for an entry here. When you look at something like a Rivian, that's just been, absolutely blown apart over the past 2 days in a row now. What is that time frame that you're looking for before that gets interesting?
It would be a while, and sorry, I'm still laughing. I was in the green room and I heard Sean's comment of if you're okay with something going to zero, then buy Rivian. So we're going to try to find stuff that doesn't go to zero. But ideally, if you want to see that gap fill, I think you need to see a week or so plus of action. You need enough time that anyone who is trapped in a position like that gets out of. For me, if I'm looking to short that, I want to see about the same. I want to see a week, maybe two, and that's a lot of the setups that I'll send you, or I'll give you guys in a second, where we're looking for an earnings move that shocks the market in some way, shape, or form. This tells technical nerds like me, who will never in their life actually listen to an earnings call or know what they reported, but it lets me know that the people who are looking at that stuff are shocked and trying to chase this stock. And then I want a week, maybe 2 weeks of some sort of consolidation and then a push up. So as Brendo mentioned, we are going to do one more. I think it was the last 3 Fridays I've done this play, but I love this play so much, and this is around the time I can do it. And then next week we'll get back into some different plays that I like as well, because these seem to be drying up at least a little bit. So again, the idea is, if you see the vertical yellow line on the Trade Ideas charts, we are looking for something that is done earnings, which that yellow line represents, had some sort of positive reaction to earnings, and is now consolidating. So the idea is, if they break out from here, we get that fundamental shift that a lot of the fundamental funds, hedge funds and mutual funds take a look at. And we can ride that wave from a purely technical point of view. And as always, the chart in the bottom left-hand corner is the monthly chart. So we have these picture-in-picture charts, so you get a good idea of what that overall trend looks like. So the first one here is GFF. It's Griffin Corp. I just like this one because it's breaking out, if you look at that monthly chart, an incredibly strong trend. This thing has gone over the last 2 years from $20 to $70. So some really good tailwinds on this one. Gap up on earnings, and then had that solid green earnings candle consolidating after that. So a break of, I call it like $69 a share or so. That's where I'm interested in this one. Next here is Sono. Same type of move. If you look at the monthly chart, it's not quite as good. This is a little bit more of a bottom pick, but 5% of the float here is short, and that to me is very interesting. So we had that gap up again on earnings. You see an attempt there a couple days ago to try to fill the gap. That was completely negated, and we're just consolidating sideways. This, I'm looking at about $19 a share, give or take. I think if it gets through that $20 psychological number, that's that last hump that you can see on the monthly chart in the bottom corner. And then it looks like there's not much resistance up until the $30, $40 range. So that's a good look on this one. Next one here is Disney. Disney right now is something I need a little bit more time on, but I wanted to highlight the chart just because this is, again, going to be the last time this particular earnings season I talk about this play. Yesterday, it closed right at the low of that candle after earnings. You can see a nice, big, strong candle. I am looking to see, and this would be a little bit more of a bounce play and less of a breakout play, if we can hold that level today and get a little bit of a bounce off that zone. That's what I'm interested in. I like playing support plays. They're a little bit riskier, but your stop can be very, very tight. Again, if it trades into the gap, it would be time to go. But if I can get some sort of bounce off that, maybe through 110 or so, which would be about the middle of the range, I'm interested in that. Here is Roblox. Roblox actually filled the gap, but had a really strong day yesterday after filling the gap. And it came in and it touched that gap almost perfectly and then bounced off. And sometimes that can be a cue that there was people that are interested in this and they're waiting for that gap to get filled in order to take a trade. What I like about it, if you look at the monthly chart in the bottom corner there, is it's had we all know Roblox got really hot after its IPO and then completely crashed, but it's been consolidating between $30 and $50 since 2022. So that's a really long base there on that picture-in-picture chart. So if we can ever break out of that base, it's, you could call it a smiley face. I was always taught the saying, the bigger the base, the higher in space. I know Roblox is still a thing. I have a nephew who talks about it all the time. So it may be time to maybe take a little earnings shot, because whatever they said on earnings was a good thing. If we can get through that base, then this may actually turn into a little bit of a longer term hold for me. Last but not least is something that I talked about that I never got triggered on maybe a couple weeks ago, and that was VLO. So VLO is is an oil company. I was interested because I'm interested in the oil sector as a whole. I talked about that with Sean on the After Hours show on Monday, that we are seeing a little bit of rotation into oil and gas, and we're holding this level on VLO. if we can get a push off that level. Big, strong candle yesterday. I think I may finally take a shot on this, because if we are going to see that rotation into oil and gas, I think Valero, VLO will be a good shot there. So a couple things from the trade ideas front I wanted to catch you guys up on. Big release for our Mac version people like myself, who's a big Mac guy, or web version iPhone. You can use this on a PC too, of course, but we have a web version out. It's been out for some time. If you go to trade-ideas.com/tradertv, you can get to it there. We now have, so you can open up as many tabs as you want on the same computer. And for me, this was big because I was always clicking between all of these tabs. This is actually my battle station right now that I'm showing you guys. I have a, one monitor, but it's a big, like 30-something inch monitor here. And I can now put up 4 independent trade ideas windows, all in different parts of the web version, showing me different things as the day go on. All the charts are independent, so I can be looking at different things. Big release for us. I just wanted to point that out, that was something that took us a little bit of work to get around some regulation to make sure that we were allowed to do that for you guys. And we got that out now. So you can open up as many tabs of the web version as you want on whatever it is you're viewing us on. And last but not least, starting next week, we have our next tournament. So this is a short only tournament. The last tournament was long only. You're only allowed to buy stocks. Now we have a short only tournament. So for the 27th to the 29th, so 27th, 28th, 29th, any premium members of Trade Ideas, you are already enrolled in this. And if you're not, go to trade-ideas.com/tradertv or use TraderTV20 on checkout. Save yourself 20% off. You are entered into this tournament automatically. If not, go to that Trader TV link as well. You can get signed up for the tournament, and it's whoever makes the most amount of money wins. So there's some restrictions. You can't trade penny stocks, and we want you to trade at least 10 securities. But other than that, do whatever you want. Learn how to short the market completely risk-free. If you win, $2,400 grand prize, and I interview you for the channel, and those interviews have always been a lot of fun.
Clarify, it is paper money. It is a demo account. No one has to actually short anything in their real accounts.
Right. I should have specified that. And just to tease the people for, now I'm putting the devs on the spot, but I told Brendan I was going to tease some stuff. This tournament, you still have to use the downloaded version in order to participate in the competition. They have told us by the next one, you will be able to do that on the web as well. So on your phone, on your iPad, whatever it is, you'll be able to not only use the product that I showed there, but you'll be able to trade and participate in the tournament. And these tournaments are a lot of fun. The feedback I've been getting from the winners that I've been interviewing is it's allowed them to really experiment with their trading style. And we all know paper trading is the place you go and experiment, but it's also really boring. So we're trying to fix that.
Let's maybe touch on the winner, possibly, once it's announced after 27th, 28th, 29th. We'll maybe touch on the winner on the show live. We can throw out the name and give them a shout out when you come on during that week.
Yeah.
Are you going to just go and short hundreds and hundreds of thousands of shares of NVIDIA?
I was very tempted, like SMCI or NVIDIA, and just YOLO and hope it crashes over the 3 days. I have not done very well in these tournaments, and I definitely want to at least get on the leaderboard once. So I think that might be the goal. But what I may try to find is like a junky one, if I can find like a $4 or $5 chip stock out there somewhere.
Yeah, one of those 300-400% runners in a day that'll come right back down. Great stuff. Michael Noss, CMT over at Trade Ideas. Go check that out, Trader TV 20. Do some research over the weekend. Get your copy. Thank you, Mr. Noss. We'll speak again next week.
Talk to you then.
You know, it's funny you mentioned trying to find like a cheaper thing. Oddly enough, it was just announced this morning by Brendan that Funware is doing a reverse split. So, like if you I don't know exactly when it's effect, but whenever it's in effect, you get like the first pop on news from DWAC and then short that top, and that would make some sense. But yeah, it's always interesting to do it in the chats, and people are saying, "Hey, just short a firm." Probably too rational a play to win competitions. Like usually for a competition, you got to do something insane like SMCI, and then you hope it pulls back like a ridiculous amount. That said, we all use a platform and love it. I just wanted to point out, Mr. Noss. XLF is still continuing that breakout. We were talking about this the last time I got to talk to you in the afternoon show. You're almost at the top of the range here. When you talk about consolidation breakouts, which is going to be a theme today, there's a few things that are consolidating and looking like they want some liftoff, like this chart right here. If we can come to my chart here, Fabes. Fabian? No worries. Yeah, when you talk about consolidation breakouts, I want significant level, clear consolidation, clear breakout. This is one that we're saying while it was in that phase. This is why you see Michael talk about these types of setups where you can be patient, and then when it goes, look at the upside right into the previous high. Technically, that's as good as it gets. Names that are consolidating like this, AMD. Meta's doing one as well, a couple of stocks that we will be talking a lot about, I think, in the, well, I mean, every day.
Yesterday, so Canada, of course, a G7 nation, group of 7 economy. Yesterday, NVDA passed Canada's economy. So yesterday, the real GDP for Canada is 2.3 trillion Canadian. Yesterday, NVIDIA passed that in market cap. Cool. I mean, that's nice. It's just funny to talk about it because we talk about how much more can some of these names go. And I mean, we got a lot of oil and trees here.
Yeah.
But we don't have chips.
We got lots of trees.
Yeah, we got lots of trees. We got water.
We got tons of water.
You know, we don't have too many people. But we got that. We got Adara, who's going to be over at the board in a second. But anyways, yeah, thanks, Michael, for that. Go check out Trade Ideas. I mean, awesome fun there. And he nailed it on the head, man. You get to get interviewed, if you win, by Michael Noss. How cool is that? That's one of the dreams that I have as a trader, is to get interviewed by Michael Noss. I mean, I interview the guy maybe 100 times. I think maybe next week when he's on the Market Recap Show, I'm going to turn the gun to him, and he can start interviewing me. On the Market Recap Show. So I'm gonna talk to Michael Noss about that. That should be a lot of fun. I just thought about it. Let's get him to ask me some questions. I think we could do a Q&A as well. We'll do a little bit of Q&A on the Market Recap Show next week. Ask everybody that as well. Patrick is in the building.
Still shorting Mara, Patrick? He has no mic. You still shorting Mara today? You don't want? No, okay. He doesn't want.
See, I actually thought he was sitting there. I was like, did he slide over here?
That's
Anyways, Patrick's come in, and I mean, good for Patrick. He's come in early. He said he's gaining a lot of insight from some of this early talk, and that's great. I mean, this is what we're all about here right now. Like I keep saying, the floor behind us is definitely, you know, since Greg left, doing a lot better.
Got some players in there. It's kind of like when our boy. It's kind of like when our friend in high school left. I'm not making this up. I'm not going to say his name, but it's. We had a friend. We joked him all the time because he left one company for another, and they are both rather large publicly traded companies.
Yeah.
And almost to the week, the one stock when he left made an upward trend, and the other one when he got there went to the downside. One was a bank, and one was
you know what? I got it.
consumer staple company.
Procter and Gamble. But the thing is that I got it. My dad has been busting me about this stock for a long time. You know, he tells me, he's like, Sean, you know, we're long Palantir at like $11, and we actually have Intel at 26, but we didn't sell that yet. And NVIDIA and all this kind of stuff. And he's like, but why the hell did we buy Procter and Gamble? Well, right now, Dad, Procter and Gamble is at 52-week highs. I don't know if this can't be all-time highs. I don't think, no, because probably during COVID.
It's breaking out.
Yeah, so actually, okay.
If you weren't buying that double bottom,
slow and steady over here.
You weren't buying that double. It's about diversification.
That's what it is. I mean, you don't buy this stock, and that's what I keep telling them. It's like you get the 3 or 4% dividend. You see what's going on with it. But
what do you think the money comes to always be dip buying the Qs and dip buying NVIDIA and dip buying all those flying stocks?
Yeah.
Having those stable things that are generating income for you in your portfolio that you can now have the cash to deploy and not have to sell things to then go buy the stocks that you want when you have the Proctors of the world. When you know, and again, like, we wax poetic about that a lot, but that's
actually,
my strategy.
I've
always had.
They're only 2.3%.
Steady.
Actually, I'm probably going to dump Procter up here. Actually, now that I think about this, that's not. It's steady, but 2%. It's not enough, man. Is it? In this rate, I can put my money in the bank and get double that.
It's also about security. Like you have to, if you're going to be in the market, there's something to be said about, and if you read a lot in Nassim Taleb, we're going to get to there in a quick little second, you want to be protected against huge downward pressures in the economy. So had there been like that no soft landing and recession, there's certain types of stocks which are going to hold up a heck of a lot better in your portfolio, which you can be secure about. And so that's one of those types of stocks. It's more about being a little bit protectionary. I mean, GE used to be that kind of stock. It's much more growthy. But when you talk about a Procter, that's the category that it tends to be in, which can be boring, which is absolutely fine for me. But I'll have 5% of my portfolio in shop plays. I'll have at least 5% of my portfolio in things that are that kind of stable, actually a little bit more than that. And then it pays for the other, like the over 50%, which is under some risk anytime the market makes major moves. That's not going down 50% ever. But let's go. We have Adara. We got upgrades and downgrades. I could talk all day about that.
Lots of major earnings here on the upgrades and downgrades board. Carvana and Block being two of the more recent ones. We did have an upgrade here for Carvana from Raymond James, and Block getting upgraded from Wells Fargo. DraftKings also here getting an upgrade from Barclays, basically citing some signs of incremental growth over the years. It's a good time for this company. Fox also getting an upgrade here from Citigroup. Downgrades, Boeing, after having a fairly tumultuous 2024 thus far, now getting a downgrade from North Coast. NEO here with a downgrade from JP Morgan Chase. Rivian, really notably, getting a double downgrade from buy to sell by UBS, cutting their price target in by 2/3. So they're going from $24 to $8 for RIVN. And last but not least, Piedmont getting a downgrade from BTIG Research, guys.
50.97, guys. That's where we closed out yesterday on the ES. All-time highs. It didn't take us that long to dip below 5,000 and then reclaim 5,100 within a couple of days. 51.08 is the overnight high. We don't have resistance to the high side, but let's see if we can hold up, Brendo, above that 5,100 level today.
All right, let's get into everything you need to know as we head towards the open on a Friday morning here. If you haven't done so, watchlist.tradertv.live. Or you can scan that QR code. It'll take you there as well. Heck, you can just go to tradertv.live, and there's a pop-up that appears right in the main landing page, and you can sign up there as well. Top of the list again this morning, I think it's been 3 days in a row, maybe even 4 days in a row, is this one, NVIDIA. Rightfully so. Look at these gaps on this chart.
Unreal.
It's unreal. 802, 803, anyone? We sound like auctioneers at this point for NVIDIA. It just keeps going.
I was listening to the call yesterday just to find out what Jensen said, and he's only going to guide a quarter at a time here. But when you look at the orders coming in from the hyperscalers, you can kind of project what kind of year NVIDIA is going to have. The other side to that coin is after they're finished building out the actual hardware infrastructure, a lot of people are predicting this is going to turn into a services business, much like Apple, deploying 2.5 billion devices all over the world and then looking to recoup some income by, selling them services. So super interesting story here, Brendo. Let's see what it does.
Yeah, I did put SMCI up on the board. That will appear there in a moment, but we'll touch on that in a second with an offering today, guys. But anything to the long side on your minds here for semiconductors?
I mean, it's over $800, so you can throw out like 800 break as a trade for a breakout. That's kind of out the window. I feel like this has happened a few times on the way up in NVIDIA, which can be a little bit frustrating because as a trader, you remember what it looks like when it breaks a 500, when it breaks a 700, all that good stuff. So I just think you want to play, like for me, if it's easy if it wicks 800 at the open and then holds, then you look for a breakout off of that price, kind of like an up-down, because waiting around for 810, maybe there's an 805 out there. Those are being played. If it fails 800, I think it's reasonable. You could dip back into 780, 785. So like it's a patient, underneath 800, it's a very patient game to want the longs. Because I look at where this thing could not break out for the entirety of the day. Like it shot up. It was a great breakout early. Like I only had one trade in NVIDIA, and it was the early breakout. And then it just stalled at 780. So if it comes back into 780, I think that's the zone under 800 to make a play. We break on her downside, I got to be really patient waiting for that 780. And NVIDIA didn't have to be the jam because AMD provided a lot of opportunity as well. We're saying things that are breaking out and accumulating, look at AMD. What do you think happens if this thing breaks 185? We saw what happened when NVIDIA broke out of its channel. If this thing gets through 185, it could make yesterday look like child's play. for some of the chip names. It's accumulating. It works at the bottom of the range. If it breaks out the top of the range, whatever day it happens, you want to be there for it. I'll be looking at that and taking that break, whether it's today, next week, or I don't know, if it goes to the bottom and then top again, maybe you wait a month for it. But these things are coiling to the upside. I still lean into shorting Intel. I put it in my morning mix, but it's a little trickier because you're so far down off that 45 level. So I'll have to play this one by ear. It's on some. It's really close to some supports. I'll have to be patient shorting pops on Intel because it's already fallen, a good $3 off that resistance.
Market's going to be a fun one today as we get back to 18,100. Wow, this market is absolutely ripping. We only wrote down AMD here long at 184. We've been playing the breakouts on this name for a couple days now, and it's been great. Every single level it comes up to, it's been smashing it. Who thought that AMD would do better on NVIDIA earnings than they did on their own earnings? All right, that was a big move up there. AMD on their own number didn't move 14% or whatever it did yesterday, but it was a huge move. We had a couple longs in there, and wow, what a day it was. 172 up to 184. Well, that's where we stopped. The 52-week high for AMD, and I noted that in the sticky note again, is 184.92. So you're getting right up there into 185 again. I mean, look how good this looks. You're going to be breaking this name out. This chart looks fantastic for a breakout. I mean, if you don't know that this is AMD, then I feel like you would be really looking to smash this. So that's what I'm going to do. Not only does the chart look great, but the level's right there. It's 184. It's a smash long. You might only need one trade today, and this is probably it. AMD long 184.
First segment of the show brought to you by Hedgeye. Free All Access Week starts today. All week long, you'll get daily updates on Hedgeye's trade ideas and signals. Get free access now. Go to hedgeye.com/TTV. Again, they're free All Access Week. Go check them out. Let's talk about Block. Surprise to the upside here. The initial move, I wanted to show this first. The initial move downside here. And then we got the guidance, it seemed, that was a little better than expected, that came out a little bit after the actual numbers last night. And as soon as that hit, just absolutely ripped through 278.
Yeah. The Cash App here, Brendo, really has investors excited because while they grew 25% year over year in Cash App users, it's actually growing a lot quicker than the actual users for Square. People are saying that they're starting to adopt it more as their everyday banking tool because you can pay now with it at the point of sale terminal. So really interesting here. They beat on revenue, they beat on gross profit. So we'll have to see how they do. Up big.
Yeah, $80. I mean, obviously a psychological level here, but staring it right in the face right now, guys, for SQ.
Yeah, this is it's obviously a major level on the daily chart here on Square. There's already, and when I sat down, there was size at 80. Like the stock hadn't even done any volume, and there was already somebody just sitting on 80 with like 20-something thousand shares. And you're talking about it's not even 7 a.m. and someone just felt like, I'll just put that order out there really early. Probably anticipating they're going to get the fill. I'm sure they absolutely want to sell that for profit. But you need to break this out. Can it get through the $80 level? There's some chop above that for a couple of dollars. So it could easily break 80, get to 81, get to 81.25, and you haven't really cleared through a lot of this choppiness out there for Square. I think that any kind of a dip today, I've got 75 and 77 for the dip buys on Square, so I think it could withstand a pullback and then go dip buy hunting at those two even dollars. I like to lean that way. I feel like the breaks on the breakouts of the moves on those chips off these levels, like for the NVIDIAs and the AMDs of the world, might be where I want to be at 9:30, as opposed to Square, which might actually even break before 9:30 the way that it's going. But I do like the dip buy, 97s and 95s. We'll be patient with it if it does start coming down. It is Friday. Keep that in mind. Like a lot of times you do see a little bit of inside action, and shadiness isn't the word, but like quadunking, basically like a lot of befuddling in that first 2 or 3 minutes. So this is not the name that I want to just immediately take a breakout on. I'd rather look for some patient dip buys to join the trend. That 20% growth is fantastic. I mean, the profit's obviously shocking some people, so you've definitely caught the markets off guard, but it's at major resistance. I'll let it calm down off that before I go long.
Yeah, I mean, it's the number one trade idea here. It's 80 long. I think you should just smash it if it gets up there. There's some size there, but I mean, it's only 9.10 right now. It's going to be an early trade, so I don't know if you want to take it that early. It has a 200,000 share buy imbalance. It's expected, we talked about this yesterday on the market recap show with Danielle Shea yesterday, where we talked all about options. Go make sure you find her. And you know, if you're looking for some options education, there's going to be no one better. But okay, so they were expected move was 10%. They got 17%. This name's going higher today. I will be a buyer, obviously, at $76 if it comes down into here. If it does, then great. I just don't know if that's going to be happening. You're probably going to look back and this name's going to be at 83 or 84, and then I'm going to be like, oh man, it's the number one idea here on the sticky note. So I do want to take it. If it breaks in the pre-market, I'll take it small. But if this name hovers around and then like at 932 or 933, it takes 80, you have to take the long there and just see what happens. You know, we're here to trade, and I think if you want to have a big trade, you got to have to look for something like that on Square today. If you're going to be a conservative trader, then I would say today probably Square, not for you. It's a violent name. Like the spread for a $79 stock, it's going to, even when the market opens, it's 10, 15 cents. Like it's going to be pretty big right there in the first couple minutes. So just be careful with it. I would rather get volume in the name and then break 80, but I feel like it's going to break it at some point today. It's just a matter of how high does it go from there, and then where is your out if you're wrong. So yeah, I really like that break of 80. It's the number one idea here on the sticky note with AMD long.
All right, CVNA, huge move, as we mentioned to kick things off this morning. $70 gets tagged early on here. We've come off from that back to 65 right now. But yeah, surprise beat here for CVNA, still this short aspect to the stock as well.
Yeah, heavily shorted, Brendo, but they reported a net income of about $500 million. About $450 million is how much they took home with respect to profit. They were also able to refinance a lot of debt, about $1 billion worth of debt at a lower rate, so that helps with margins. The story here is basically they ran up aggressively during the pandemic when there was a shortage in new cars, so used car prices started skyrocketing, their margins expanded, and when things went back to normal, their margins declined, hence the volatility. Let's see how they do.
Yeah, there's a few positive analyst moves, surprisingly, on this stock this morning as well. William Blair, one of those, going to outperform today, guys, on CVNA.
Yeah, ho-hum. So they didn't beat on the top and bottom, so it was not a beat, and the stock went up anyways. Don't know where you heard that before, but it's a squeeze name, right? So that's what we're talking about in the afternoon. 36% to the short interest here. You squeeze names when they get in coiling zones. Like, look what it was doing. Higher lows all the way through. Like, who do you think that scares going into earnings? Bouncing off the 50 period, holding that and breaking the channel before it even reported, and then testing those highs. So it's already broken the top, which makes it a little bit tricky because I want that explosion through the top, not buying it way up here. Like Square breaking 80 is breaking a top like this. It's people running stops and then participating. Buying up here on Carvana is a different story because fundamentally, this is still in some ways a company that's in some trouble here. So it needs to come back. The zone I have is the 60 to 62 zone. This would have been, if we were anywhere down here, this would have been an easy breakout trade. I think that's obvious to say, but you've got to trade the setup. You know, it's easy to say, hey, Carvana, let's go long because it's got a high short flow, but the setup has to be there. You know, the price to me was in that 60 to 62 zone. I would have taken any breakout in that zone this morning, but you're up at 67 bucks. So it's going to have to dip and show me something else down there. Or maybe it just goes sideways long enough that you can get a consolidation break at 70.
Yeah, I think, yeah, 70 would be nice. Maybe 69 here would be nice. There's no way I'd go short this name, up 28%. I think going short on this would be a nightmare today. It probably breaks 70 and goes to 80, but I mean, you got to be there for it. So yeah, I like a 70 break. I like a 72 break. I'm not super bullish on the market, but I mean, the market is doing market things. And I mean, it's still going up. It's like, you know, breaking highs again. So I don't know. I don't really see any reason to short anything today, to be honest with you. So Carvana would just be another one of those things to go long on. You know, dips into 63, 64 would be fantastic. The 200 period is now at 64, so that could be good. 65, 66. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not, like, normally I have a pretty good opinion and feeling on some of these things. I really like the AMD break long. Not convinced about Carvana, but, you know, we'll be here. Oh, God, we have Square right now. So Square just broke. So here we go. We are in Square right now as we speak, and let's get this party started. We talked about that we would like a break long on this. So there it is. We'll get 30 cents right there. Ring a little bit of a register on that break. It's the #1 idea on the sticky note, and there it is right there. In and a little bit out as Square I mean, John Travolta, you know, what are we even doing here? So Square, nice little move to the upside right there on that break. I don't know if it's going to be lasting or not. We'll see if we get it. Just stopped at 50 there. We'll see if we can get a 50 out. Oh, we just stopped at 50 again right now. So there it is, man. The excitement in Square is already building. Let's see where we go from here. I'm sitting at 50. It just stopped on us. We'll see if it goes up. We're out of a third already at 30s. Let's see what happens here with Square and see if we can put some money in our pocket a little early here.
Let's talk about Tesla and Rivian here. We mentioned this 180 at the bottom for Tesla trying to grind its way back to 200. I mean, it did fail there a couple of times over the past couple of days, but yeah, Tesla looking good. This is completely unrelated, but it just popped in my head. I saw a really interesting review of the Fisker Ocean last night.
I like it. No?
It was titled possibly the worst vehicle that this person had ever reviewed.
Okay.
So there's a lot of, let's just say, there's a lot of quirks with the Fisker Ocean that, from a software standpoint, was just like, what on earth are they doing? And it was a version of the Fisker Ocean that had the solar panels on the roof. There was no way in the software of the car to have any indication whatsoever as to what the solar panels were doing.
So that's useless then. What am I supposed to do
Complete
with
gimmick. Anyway, go check it out. It's on YouTube.
Huh.
Yeah, let's talk about Tesla. Rivian, more negativity today, more downside, more analysts talking negative about Rivian. Tesla's Elon Musk also with some choice words for his friend RJ.
Yeah, oh yeah. He let him know exactly what he needs to be doing if he wants to scale that R2. Just go back and look what Elon did during the Model 3 scaling. But with respect to the headline today, I like how the Chinese regulator is calling this a software update, not a recall. We could take a little bit of a hint from them. 8,700 vehicles are going to be updated from the Model Y to the Model X to try to avoid some accidents here. So that's what we're looking at. And yeah, it's posing a safety hazard, but they should be able to do that with an over-the-air update.
We'll see if Rivian can hold on to some levels here, guys, but not looking good to the downside again today.
18-1 on the NASDAQ. NASDAQ at those highs from last night, trying to bust through. I was going to start with Tesla. Tesla was before Rivian, so I was geared up for that. But I just throw out there 198 on Tesla. If you're looking at this, it's pretty obvious. You have the same top for a couple of days. Yes, you have a couple of wicks above it. Fair enough. But 198 support to resistance. If Tesla gets above that, I think it can be rather strong. However, note the fact that it is down 0.8% into a market that's up 0.2. So resistance till it's not. Rivian had to be very, very patient to get the bounce in yesterday's trade. It's short sell restricted because it was down a bajillion % yesterday. Doesn't matter how much it goes down today, it will be short sell restricted for the entire day. So if it can't hold $11, $10.50, $10 are both levels I'd look for any kind of a bounce. If it shows like a double bottom, consolidation bottom like it did yesterday, go for the long. It gave a trade of 11.10 to 11.50. So we'll see if we can do something similar. But Tesla 198, that's the key price there for me.
Look, yesterday we had the biggest trade, and it was on Rivian. And it was yesterday at 12.50. We talked about that yesterday. I really liked it. This is the short that we had yesterday, 12.50 right here, this break. And it ended the day at 11.40. We took $1.10 on that trade. So we put Rivian in the gates of hell yesterday. And it was the earliest trade and the most profitable trade of the day. Today, probably should have smashed 11 short. But I'm just not feeling it. It's day 2 of the play. We'll see if it continues to. The coffee's better today?
Yeah,
I might go get one, okay.
And yesterday was so bad it can't be worse. That's
yeah, all week it's been horrible. Our sort of lunch supervisor or,
yeah.
well, I don't know, yeah. Has been away this week, so definitely things slacking around here. All right, so still in square, waiting for 80.50. We talked about that. If that comes through, that'd be great. Rivian for me is probably a no trade, but I was looking for a bid. I'm looking for a bid. So at some point there will be some buys. Like yesterday, we got a bid down here at 11. Yesterday, up to 11.50. So we'll see if we can do it again. It's really too bad because if I came in with a different mentality today on Rivian, I would already be short and we would already have a monster. But it broke already the pre-market bottom. That's the trade. I'm not too excited about this at 11. I'm just more excited about the names that we have on here. Square, AMD, ARM, Amazon, and Uber. Here goes Square, man. I might just cancel this 50. Let's see if we get 81 here on Square, and let's just make the sticky note great again.
Love it.
All right, SMCI back to the downside here a little bit this morning on this note. $1.5 billion convertible senior note offering coming up or due in 2029. But it did come all the way down to almost 900 on that initially, 905. Nice bounce underway right now.
Really what was kind of attention grabbing for me here, Brendo, was how much the convertible note was going to be worth per share. So it's trading at $900 some odd, but if you're going to convert this bad boy at the time of conversion, it'll be $1,341, and that represents a 37.5% premium from where we are right now.
I mean, they're buying it up ever since that move downside to start things off here this morning. Still negative, those guys here for SMCI.
Yeah, buying it up is an understatement. You gotta remember like how far this thing is flying to do that, only be down 3%. I think bodes well for the squeeze nature of the stock. But 1,000 is where you're watching. There was a point yesterday where, like, I took a short in AMD off of a wick action in SMCI, and it was a really good entry because he had resistance on AMD, and then SMCI made a pullback, and then the second SMCI caught a huge bid. It was like the easiest punch out on AMD. So I will be watching this, not as the futures it's not really going to lead the chips, but when it does something drastic, you want to be paying attention to it. So if you're at 1,000 and 1,000 is failing, and let's just say AMD does make that break off the top and AMD's running, and I see 1,000 fail on SMCI, that's a profit take potential area. For any of these sort of chip names that you're long, whether it's NVIDIA, whether it's AMD, maybe you're trading some Marvell or some Micron, which we were both in. So this is worth watching. It sold the you-know-what out of it at that $1,000 level, which is a huge psychological level. When a stock does this, it's obviously insane. We were joking around about if you wanted to win that competition that they're doing with trade ideas, it's like just short SMCI because that gives you the best opportunity for a return, obviously. But yeah, you do have to keep this in watch. I'd much rather be playing, if I step away from AMD, NVIDIA, Intel, it's going to be for Marvell. They haven't reported yet, but they have been following the lead of everybody else in terms of trying to break back out without actually taking out the high. I suspect it hasn't taken the high because they haven't reported yet, but it's trying to break the top of this channel. We had the 70 long in the afternoon, and this is holding 70 again. So if there's another chip name I'm gonna trade that isn't those three, the usual three, it's these guys. It's not gonna be SMCI, which I do think for a lot of you out there has been the jam. Just watch out for that $1,000 level, man. I can't tell you enough. That's a nasty one. The NASDAQ is now through that 18.1, by the way. So we're through that top and continuing to go. Like, there's not a heck of a lot of a reason. Like Sean was saying, he's not looking at anything short. I always have a couple of things that I like to the short side. It's as long as it's relatively weak, I don't have an issue with it. Like something like an Intel, which has been weak, it's got 43.5. If that breaks out, that's got to be a really tight stop because if it tries to fill in the gap, it requires a ton of patience to wait for 44.5, to wait for 45 even. But that's in play for me. We've been waxing poetic about a firm being an opportunity to short. Well, it showed you some strength yesterday. breaking back. You had to wait for those tops. This looks a little bit stronger today. This is not an auto, hey, I'm going to short every single pop in a firm. Not when it put in a higher low yesterday. If it breaks out, I wait for the $40 level. That's the level of patience that's required when you're trading. You've got to have some discipline out there, not just say, hey, because I win shorting every single day, I'm going to short these stocks into oblivion. You can't do that. Not when the market is this strong. There's not a heck of a lot when it comes to the imbalances right now. Like I'm seeing NU and then Lunar, which I want to get to. Plug Power's in there for a very, very small, actually just disappeared. So Lunar's 450,000 to buy. We're going to go back to the desk in a second, but this didn't make the watch list despite landing on the moon. But come on, man. Like, what kind of a story is this? I'm a nerd. I love it. Just be careful about selling the news. They've landed. All the best stuff has happened here for Lunar. If this thing can't break through the high, you just got to, I'm not buying tops on Lunar. If this can't break the high, you could be back at like $9 right quick on Lunar. The best has happened here. Successful launch, successful landing on the moon. Hats off to them. I'm excited about it. Maybe not as many other people in the world are, but it's not something that I would be buying tops on because typically speaking, once the good news is in, you tend to see a little bit of a sell-off, guys.
Just double checking on that as well. It's not until March 31st, end of March, we get the earnings from Lunar as well. So heads up on that. Go check out the second channel, guys. On right now, again, you can get the positions of Neil and Sean all day long. On that, it is available to you. You get headlines, you get the economic schedule, you get the top gainers and decliners of the day as well. It's been a great week on the midday. Make sure you check out the midday coming up at 11 o'clock. What's on tap today?
Today, we're finishing off trading terminology by talking about some of the psychological terms that we often use on this show and on the midday. And then next week, we're going to be talking about market theories. We're going to talk about Elliott waves, other market efficiency theories. So if you're into that kind of stuff, catch Adair and I next week on How to Trade.
Lots of stuff to come. Again, second channel running well this morning, guys. Go check that out. It is a couple minutes to the open here.
Lunar's starting to cut. Anyways, the imbalance is in like 1 minute. No, I was just saying this. Lunar's still doing like crazy volume. You've got some moves coming. Like the market's still holding the highs, but there's a couple of things that just started to pull back. We didn't mention Meta, so I want to correct that right away. 490 yesterday's high. Got some bad wicks in there. Sorry, guys. 490 yesterday's high. 490 pre-market high.
NVIDIA's ripping.
Yeah, NVIDIA's now starting to fly. Some things have pulled back, but the market is absolutely flying here. 490 is the key level on Meta. That's what I wanted to get to you. If you hold 486, that's yesterday's close. I think underneath that price, I would not fight it, but I think you got to look for longs because this has been a rocket ship as well. That's the theme of the day today. There's rocket ships everywhere. They're landing on the moon. There's stocks breaking out higher, and you can't ignore them, with the exception of maybe Google, because Google is a bit of a dog.
Yeah, all right. Well, still lots of time left here. I thought when you hit that, you got all excited there. I was like, oh my God, the market's open. But okay. All right, let's just figure this out. So Square just went for a little bit of a dumpy dump there. There's probably something to do with some imbalances adding to the size here. Okay, where we go? There it is, do by size. All right, so NU, okay, so we don't have to worry about that. We don't trade it. Neo's here, Square, there's Square. So Square's a bid, but it just dropped in there a little bit. There's not much on there. There's that Lunar that Neil's talking about with a small bid. All right, so this is the only position that I have. We've taken, actually it was only 25 cents there, and now we've just bounced off of the 50 period. I'm trying to buy more at 79. I'm gonna watch out for 78. I feel like if we lose 78, then we can get out of this. So we're not really averaging in until we see a little bit better of reaction here to Square. So let's wait on that one. We're already out of a third. We already talked about AMD. We mentioned NVIDIA absolutely flying. I mean, 808. Wow.
808 heartbreak.
Yeah, exactly. So this name is going again and again and again. And I guess me selling yesterday some more at 780 seems to be a mistake. We'll see if that does work out eventually. But there it goes. A nice upside move for NVIDIA and going. So we'll have a look at AMD. I like, wow, okay, so that, again, complete opposite.
Makes no sense.
Complete opposite. All right, this is very interesting to me. Maybe we take AMD on a break now of 182, 183, because it's just not, reacting the way we think maybe it should there for AMD. I want to take a 183 break long on AMD. I'm changing that price from 184 to 183.
Yeah, I'm actually starting to look at the 180 level on AMD. If it's going to do this, maybe the quick dip and rip. If NVIDIA is this strong, don't tell me AMD is not going to have a good day. I have an order to break out the top as we have the countdown on, but I might go dip buying as well. In 3, 2, and 1, let's go Friday.
All right, it's Friday right now as well. As
if you're NVIDIA,
celebrate.
you're definitely Friday.
Yeah, man, celebrate this good day here today. All righty then. Amazon looking real damn healthy as well, trying to break back in or back over 175. We'll take a couple shares there if that does happen. We have to be very, very careful with everything here, right? So Square's dropping back in. We're watching out for Amazon. I'm leaving Square alone. We're buying some 79.05s there. Do you know that Square went down to 79.06? We're long at 79.05. Didn't hit. There goes Square. It is the moneymaker of the day so far for your boy. That's $1. That's a damn dollar right there on Square, and we miss it. That's it, Patrick. Welcome to graduation. Nice move there. 80 up to 81. Just playing around. 80 to 81. There goes Square. It's the #1 idea on the sticky note right there. Boom. $1.70 now in the money on Square as it starts to go. And by the way, we miss our AMD print. We tried to get
Meta broke 490. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. You're
Meta
long?
490 to 492 instantly. Square gone. Meta gone. NVIDIA. My level 2's not up on NVIDIA anymore, but I'm assuming it's probably gone as well. AMD probably didn't give the dip buy. I'd be long if it gave the dip buy. Never mind. So I'll move the dip buy to like maybe 82.
Missed that AMD.
Oh, goodness. Yeah, AMD gave you a dip buy in there. It was there. I mean, you could have had it, but it was at 82s. So they're all flying. Everything's flying. The NASDAQ's flying. I'll check in on relative weakness some other time. I'm going to look to see if I can get into AMD somewhere here. So Meta is absolutely flying. I need to be in a chip name here. I do not want to be missing out on a potential breakout in some of these chips, but I don't want to get away from the stocks that we're looking at and had in the plan. One last, before we go back into Sean, Carvana, because this was another potential mover. Yeah, you're a New York stock. I hate that's a New York stock. It made the 70 break. I didn't want to have a breakout set on this. I thought consolidation break. But of course, that just means Carvana promptly broke 70 and is now flying. So you could have just taken every single break, it looks like, and won. Like, Carvana.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we mentioned, Carvana. I mean, I don't know. I said breaking 70 was the trade. We talked about breaking 80 was the trade. I mean,
bye-bye.
This is what it is, man. This is trading, and this is why we're here. What's up, Adara?
AXT getting a huge push, continuing to climb here right off the open, now up over 65, almost 70%. This reported really strong earnings after close yesterday, so less of a loss per share than expected, and also a pretty hearty sales beat. AXTI climbing, guys.
So we got long on Amazon. We're actually out of half of it up here in the 20s. I don't feel like that's going to be a very good price. But the market's trying to fade out again. Like, I'm just trying to watch these names here and try to figure out what's going on. So we did get AMD long at 03. I got multiples out. I got one out at 26, one out at 40. So that's really working for us right here as AMD. Square's $1 and change and ripping. Like, this has just been another great day. We told you that the sticky note would be the day right there, and there's $1 for that one. But the thing is what we're really trying to wait out right now anyways on Amazon. That's really the one that I'm waiting for here. Pull back to VWAP would be nice as well. I wonder at some point if this market's just, like, we had a 3% day yesterday.
It's like it's Friday.
Tough to come in here and buy everything. That's a tough sell.
NVIDIA
so,
15?
Yeah, NVIDIA's at 815. Wow, okay. Yeah, here's the pullback here in AMD and in Amazon. So, yeah, just be careful with some of the trades that you have on board right now.
I'm grabbing the dip in AMD.
Yeah, I mean, I think these dips are fine.
Don't tell me NVIDIA's at $815 and AMD is up 0.5%. No. That's my answer to that. No.
Yeah, I mean, we've been crushing this AMD trade. I hope that it continues to go upside there. I mean, we have, this is, again, just thank you everybody for paying attention to what we're doing over here. We have Square and AMD longs, and they're both been monsters. What we're waiting for is something to happen here, unfortunately, in our boy Amazon. So Amazon makes another move back into these basement levels. So we'll find out here if we get back up to the upside with AMZN. I already had a conversation about this name with the Obster, and we're going to find out what happens now with AMD. Square's just $2 in the money. That's all. What's up, Adara?
Warner Brothers, another earnings name here, very much to the downside. Miss across the board here. They also reported lower ad revenue. So 12% to the downside for WBD right off the open, guys.
Holy crap. $820 NVIDIA. Wild action. A little bit of a pullback here. I got AMD 182.50. It went right to 183.5 and is now dipping back in. So I'm looking for a reload, maybe at the 82 level. It's looking weaker than the others. Meta's starting to pull back a little bit as well. I was able to get 92s on that. If it can hold 490, I like it. I like it at that 490 level, but it's got to hold out. Oh yeah, by the way, Walmart, this is your last day to trade it before the split.
Oh, really?
We forgot to mention that. So when you'll see it on Friday, you'll see it Monday morning, 3-for-1 split. So it'll come in and be a lot cheaper.
$3 in the money on Square. Okay, just looking to see what we're gonna do with Amazon here. 173.50 or so is looks like it might be the bottom in and around there for Amazon, 173.50. So let's just try to buy a little bit more down here as it's been failing. There's no doubt about that. So we'll have to wait to see on Amazon. We did take, I told you we took out about half on the upside there, but that's just half. It's not. It's not enough to save this trade. So we'll wait to see if we can get saved. We're going to hold on to our AMD long down there, or for now on that name. I still think we could take 184, but that was a good dip buy into that level as well over at VWAP as we start to rip again here, 82.60 or so, probably a decent level for that. So let's buy some more there. But yeah, for right now, we're gonna have to wait and see, man. It's for me, it's the Amazon show, and we're gonna wait. It's down to 174 flat. Needs to get going. That was an 83.20 fill up there on Square. Maybe we'll just take it. I mean, $3, not a bad day here to start off with for this one. But I got more problems right now, and it starts with the letter A and ends with the letter N.
Affirm? No,
No, I never had problems with it.
I'm literally kidding. I know. Carvana, by the way, it's at 73. I was looking for pullback, kind of like AMD, to try to buy the dip on the way up. That has come and gone. I think we have to maybe stick a fork in that till it settles down. But the problem with AMD, Meta is okay. It's holding 492 area, but AMD is failing a lower high. You're talking about 820 on NVIDIA starting to pull back, and AMD needs to get going now.
Let's go.
I'm going to reload this bad boy off of the 182 half level, but that's about it as we go to Adara.
Trip.com, very strong right now. TCOM, bit of a pullback right off the open, but pulling back here to new all-time intraday highs. Getting a couple upgrades from Citigroup, or price target increases, sorry, from Citigroup and Bernstein after reporting earnings on Wednesday. Good look for TCOM, guys.
We were just talking about that bang, 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 bang. We put AMD in our pipe and smoked the living you-know-what out of that one. We just talked about 182.50. We just made $1 in 1 minute. Right there on that play. So we're out of the majority of that play right there as that just ripped huge right back in for us on advanced micro devices. And here it comes again. I'm not going to reload this right now. We've already taken that, and it was a doozy of a trade. And now it looks like it does want to fade out just a little bit, so watch out for that play. Obviously, we've been buying some Amazon, and I'm taking some pressure off of this name. We just got some out at 50 there on that pop-up. I'm going to take another fill here in the 40s if we can do that because, we're here all day. And we don't need to get absolutely smoked on this trade. So we'll take some out as it comes back up to VWAP. We did buy that bottom against the 200. There we go. We got another piece out here. Let's see if it can continue to make that move higher. And that would be Amazon. Basically, my whole morning's relied on that. Squares come right back up. I hope you guys took that $3. We should have got 83s a couple seconds ago again, and we canceled that trade. Remember? So we'll get it again here if it comes back to the upside. Square, the banger of the day.
I said there's one stock I wanted to short.
Nice.
And it's coming in now. We'll see what happens. The chip names are starting to pull back. I think AMD might not hang on to that 182. As a matter of fact, it didn't. So I'm out of AMD. It's looking relatively weak. I just saw NVIDIA make a turn. I saw SMCI make a turn as well. I just jumped into Intel at that 43.3. It couldn't get through 43.5. That was the first zone I was looking for a short. So when I get a wick up there, I'm going to look to short this to 45.5. It's one of the only names that I like to that south side. But we'll see what happens, but I do feel like that's the only name I loved and I'm going to stick with it. Forget about Carvana. 75, 76.
76.
There's no dip on Carvana. I might just not have a level 2 dedicated to this for a while because the 70 break was your trade. And if you don't have that, then you got absolutely nothing. Meta's still holding out pretty nicely. Oh yeah, Google. Remember Alphabet? They couldn't do anything off the 44 level. Watch out here. The market's flying. Alphabet's flat and can't do anything off the 44 level. I feel like a broken record with this thing yesterday. If it never breaks this top, I'm putting this in the bucket with Intel. That this might end up being a short today.
Yeah, glad we mentioned Carvana, but we don't have it. So you can mention something, but if you don't have it, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, nice trade there for anybody that has that. All right, AMD, we tried to buy that dip, missed it. You know, AMD is gonna be a good name for us, man. We'll put the money in our pocket on that one. Right now, we're 2 for 3, but we are waiting, obviously, on the biggest and the baddest of them all. For me, it would be that Amazon. But we're going to buy some more down here if we can on AMD, see if we can get that. What else have we talked about here lately? Let's go back over to NVIDIA quickly, because if I'm going to look at AMD, we must look at NVIDIA, although they're way different stocks, as NVIDIA is basically on one, needless to say. NVIDIA is now up to 820. So that name just keeps on motoring another 5 points on its head here. It just went up to 824 and stopped, and now you're starting to get a little bit of a pullback here right now. So I feel like we'll try AMD more down here, but not much more. And if we break 181.50, let's get out.
Up here on NVIDIA.
Yeah, NVIDIA's showing us the way here, and it's downside. So, all right, we got some more out of Amazon. Let's just hold fort here and see what winds up working, because right now the market is trying to figure itself out. It's topped out here at all-time highs. Now let's just wait to see if we can get a reaction. Up 0.4 today. We started the day up zeros. It's been a nice move here in the last hour. We'll see if it can continue to hold. That's what we're dealing with right now. I'm dealing with Amazon and hoping that that can get going as well.
So I have a trail in on Meta. Obviously I have Intel short side, but you're bouncing off VWAP here. A little bit on NVIDIA. I feel like it's stronger. Yesterday AMD was stronger. Everybody knows that. If you were watching yesterday's trade, it was all about AMD. But NVIDIA, I'm going to give it a shot here off the 815 level and just see what it can do. Like, can it fly? I'd love to see it do it. You saw what happened yesterday. It was absolute nonsense. Okay, Intel's still going flat. Watch out for that SMCI, by the way. Like I said, SMCI can be your futures. It got a little bit heavy up there the last push. And if I'm trading NVIDIA, I am going to watch closely at that SMCI for any potential turn. I want to take profit if I see SMCI dump any price.
Okay, Amazon, yeah, 173.70 basically break. I had
SMCI
it
dumping.
Yeah, man, the whole market is going to have a problem here because of NVIDIA, I think, if it loses it, obviously. All right, we'll take a little bit more here, but that's it for us on Amazon. We have that stop at 173.70. So if it breaks lower than that, then we're going to get out of Amazon. It seems to want to bounce off of here, but it's not a comfortable position. We've sort of talked about that. I'm trying to work out of it. It's not been right. Amazon's turning red. So Amazon is now red. I've done this before on Amazon, man. I remember, I think it was the 170 level I took long, and it failed, and then it wound up being sort of a red day on that. So again, the same thing sort of happened up there. We got excited. It took 175, and it was good. We got 30s. We got, I don't know, we might have a 40 up there. I'm not sure. But then averaging back in now has been a problem, but we're at a decent level, and we're going to see if it breaks down below this pre-market bottom, and if it does, then that's a losing trade, and we're out of it. So that is that. AMD is holding. We'll see. I'm still trying to buy these dips. I guess I'm not at a low enough level yet for that one.
I think it might go now.
Yeah, good.
900 bounce on SMCI. Try to take advantage of it here. Come to my chart for quickly. Just want to show you 900 bounce on SMCI. But what are you doing, NVIDIA? When this happened and wicked underneath, I flatted some NVIDIAs. I'm like, oh, don't want that flushing at that same moment. I think it could be an issue. But this bounce, to me, I don't see why we're not back at 820 bucks here on NVIDIA. If we're going to catch any bids, I think you can get back to the 820. Intel's still fine. Oh, by the way, the trail on Meta, at this point, I'm going to continuously move it, but you know my style, 490. I want out 495. Once it breaks 494, I'm going to move the trail. I don't want it at VWAP. I want to be able to look for a bounce at VWAP and save that extra $1. So my trail is in here underneath the 93, but I am getting out in front of 494. Now NVIDIA starts to go. Like, now you go? That was a bit of a delayed response, but we're starting to get another leg to the upside on NVIDIA here as we're going to Adara.
Dell gaining volume here after a price target increase from Evercore ISI from $85 to $95, also being added to Evercore's tactical outperform list. So nice 5% move to the upside for DELL, guys.
5%?
Oh, yeah.
It's a bull market, baby. Even Dell is going green. I'm telling you, Carvana is up. Dell is up. Mullins probably, no, actually, no.
Dude,
Mullins,
Dell is a monster.
no, I know. Dell's actually a good company. It's
yeah, I'd say
I'm bagging on them from old time's sake, but
AMD
might have
broke.
made a look. Nvidia is now like $1.50, looking for that too. But I said where my trail was, and it happens for my style of trading. It's a little bit more conservative when I get an extended move. That's just how I roll. I got wicked out on Meta, so we'll end up taking 280 on that trade, and it's probably going to give 3 to 4 on that look. It is what it is. I put a trailing stop in. That was my call. The NASDAQ still absolutely flying. We probably could have held on to that a little bit longer. NVIDIA, I'm trying to give a little bit of leeway, but it's not making that press into 820 like I want. I might just take it in front of 819 if that's what we can get. Intel is... So the good thing about Intel is the market goes up, and it's not really doing anything since it came back in. So I do like it for some relative weakness, but it's not exactly flushing either. That's probably indicative of some market strength here.
Okay. Shh, Amazon. Do not speak of Amazon. Okay, so yeah, AMD downside. There it is, man. I mean, again, it breaks the 200 and we get out. And look at this epic flush. I tried to get short on NVIDIA as well at 820 and didn't work.
Yeah,
I'm still sitting there to see if it can get that. But wow, right here, the biggest trade again here happening as we speak. But I've taken hits on Amazon, so it needs to get back up if we're going to spin the money cycle on this one. But it's a nice move off that bottom. We just got a couple outs. Like we said, we're sort of just licking some wounds here so far today. So we'll see if that happens. Square's still $1.50 in the money. That is what it is. We're going to let that try to go. The other trade that we had on here that I thought we would be looking at that I sort of forgot about was ARM. So here's ARM right now up to that 130 marker, which was one that we looked at. We actually wrote down, which is kind of embarrassing now that I look at this, ARM 132 short. That's been the short 5 times here today. So let's see if we can get that name into a short position for us for ARM. So we'll take a little bit here if we can get it. Obviously, it's flushing a little bit now again. If we could take something near that 132, I think that would probably be worth it, up to 133 break or so. But oh man, there it goes. Now it's trying to flush down a little bit. We'll see if we can get something in the middle. So we'll take a little piece out right there. Oh damn, it's coming back, baby. It's Amazon, and here we go again. It's trying to go. Amazon trying to get back up to the upside for us. Let's go, dog. We are now positive on Amazon, but we got to get out. If we get out, so we'll get out now in the 77s and so on and so forth. Here we go, baby. It's Amazon, and we're ringing those Reggies. Let's see what happens now, though. We do have some ARM shorties as well right now. We'll see if that one can come through. So far, it's Amazon with the banger. We're $1.70 in the money on Square. We've got NVIDIA, so it's slippery slope time, baby, right now. Wow, are we having fun yet or what? Here's NVIDIA right now, bang. Let's see if we can get this to the downside here on NVDA. All right, so that was that. Oh, wow, a little bit of fun there. I wish I would have saw NVIDIA a little bit earlier because we had much bigger profits, and there it goes again, bang, 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 bang. Wow, all right. We are having a hell of a lot of fun now, baby. This day has really turned itself around. ARM with the banger, NVIDIA with $2 in the money now, and going lower here right now. NVIDIA all of a sudden goes up to #1. All right, Adara, you got something going on over there?
Yeah, Monopar looking to run for the second day in a row here, pulling back a little bit here, but earlier piping up on really strong volume. Yesterday announcing really positive results for one of its treatments with regards to tumor reduction. So MNPR, 5.76 million share float, trying to run for day 2, guys.
What was an easy short stays an easy short. Never press the highs. It's just chilling out. You're now getting the pullback in Intel. Remember what we said about Lunar? Don't chase that thing to the moon. Sell the news. Well, that's what they did. They sold the news, and it's pretty obvious here. Lunar's still heading to the downside. I think there could be a bounce at some point, but until it happens, you got to stay away from Lunar.
Holy
NVIDIA just broke the 14 level. That was quick. I bought dips in front of 15, but I'm now out of it. I'm only short Intel now, which is wild. That's not how I expected this day to go. I thought we'd be finding some longs to hold on to. Oh, SMCI broke 900 as well. Bye-bye. SMCI lost $900. Everything is going to tank. Not everything's going to tank, but the chips are going to start to tank.
All right. $5 in the money. Okay, maybe it's too much. I was waiting at VWAP there. Let's see, man. I mean, we already, man, that was good. Oh my gosh. Okay, so thank you so much for all the comments in the chat, man. I mean, you know, we can't be here just because of the pretty face, right? Because then I wouldn't be here. All right, 82. We've just been banging this day out, man. And it could get a lot better very, very soon. Let's just wait to see. ARM is starting to go, though. ARM is not the winner here at all. As ARM getting back up into oblivion a little bit here as we start to go back up. So some of those names there. Neil mentioned that hopefully the chips are going to crash. I really hope you're right on that.
SMCI doesn't get back above 900. It's kind of like the canary in the coal mine, for lack of a better term. But my eyeballs are now obviously on Intel. I'm still thinking there's a dip to be had in NVIDIA until it proves otherwise. Right now it's trying to hold VWAP, but Carvana's at VWAP right now. So you're getting a nice hold at this 73 level. Remember Carvana, it's dollars, not cents, because Carvana is Carvana. So you have to give it some leeway. If it starts going, I'm going to have to give it a buck. That's just how it is on CVNA. But the market pulling back in, and if it ends up a red day, then the squeeze names are your jams to the long side, because that's usually where your longs tend to be on a red market day. Bounce, baby.
Yeah, let's get some bounces going on here. All right, come on, man. We're 350 now on this NVIDIA trade. I'm bidding 12s. I'm bidding 13, sorry. I don't know, man. We got as low as 1340 there. I'm bidding 1310. That's too bad. All right, we'll see if it gets back in, man. But right now, it is on a move back higher as we go. ARM is getting ready to go. This name is really spiking up right now. So it looks like this short.
Wasn't 138?
What is the high on ARM? Well, it just touched 133. We're short here at 131.60. We did get a piece out when it went back into 131.60. We got 75s there. The way this name moves.
Well, 35. That's the jam on ARM.
Yeah, I'm not. I wrote down 132, and you guys have already, you know that that's my play. So we're gonna wait for $1 on this play. If it takes out that one, I mean, it just went to 133. That's where my stop is. So, but it looks like we talked about this play yesterday as a long, and we took. I think I was telling this to Obi again. We took about $3. I think it was 130 to 133 or 133 to 136 yesterday. We'll look at that. But for right now, we're. I just got a message from a coach from High Park asking me, NVIDIA, where's the effing top on NVIDIA?
The My Dad indicator has said we've topped on NVIDIA.
So
the day that Bitcoin made its all-time high, I came home, my dad was over, and he said, should I be putting money into Bitcoin? That was the top. He said yesterday when I walked in the door, he picked up my daughter from school, and he said, I'm not saying it is, but sometimes my barber is the indicator in the wrong way as well. So I just got into Carvana. There is the bounce. It just did the over-under, dipsy-do, like 5 times at 73, and now it's holding the bid at 73 for the first time. So I got 73.5. Like I said, you probably have to give this one $1. So it has to break 73 by 50 cents. So I'll give it to 72.5 here. On Vana, Intel still a you-know-what. It is crashing through 43 as that continues to flush. It is what it is, man. I'll trade it to the downside. Sometimes you can't trade your own book. If I did, I'd never go short Intel.
Yeah, valid. Okay, all right. Well, we're still waiting. I mean, we've got our plays. Oh, wait a minute, Amazon. I thought I got. Oh, I didn't get that 92. Oh, I did get that 92. Okay. So there we go, man. Amazon's going to be a green. Well, I shouldn't say it's going to be a green name. We're going to hope it's going to be a green name on this. The most shares we took was this break of 175. So I didn't want to. Remember, we talked about like digging graves and things like that. If this Amazon comes down and winds up breaking, I'm not willing to let the day get into a spot, especially that early, where one call is wrong. And we've already had that happen to us on Amazon before, where, you know, it's broken tops and then just faded the rest of the day. So we're gonna wait off on that one. We still have $4 in the money here on NVIDIA. Let's just see. It's starting to sort of want to hold, I feel like, this 814-ish area. What about just putting an 814.55 or something bid? Let's just do that. Cancel our 813 and just put an 814. So if we get 814.50 and we can make 450 on this, I think we should do it. And then we also do have this guy coming back in as well, like hopefully not like a herd of turtles, and comes in and actually starts.
Is it even a herd?
There it is. Let's go. I don't know what it is because right now we're trader. There it is, man. NVIDIA, 450 in the money. Let's get to the downside. No more bids on this bad boy. It's NVIDIA. Hey, man, today it's going to be one of those days again. Bang, 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 bang. Let's just see where we go from here. It's a green day on a Friday. Shout out to Green Day, but we do need some outs on ARM. I mean, this day could be green and red real quick if we don't get anything. So right now, VWAP down at 130.60 right now for ARM. That should be something that we look at. Miss A, what's good?
Just a note here with regards to some of these Chinese ADRs and the Chinese names. Reuters reporting that Chinese Premier Li Qiang was holding a cabinet meeting on Friday to discuss the resolution of local debt risks and also looking to attract and utilize foreign investment. So just keep an eye on that with regards to some of these Chinese ADRs, this potential news coming out of China, guys.
Only need one. One play, one entry, off VWAP, wait patiently for Vana, 73.5, right into the local high. The second it failed the 75 break and they stacked it up, you know my style. Get in, get out, do not look a gift horse in the mouth. Maybe you still go, maybe we get a second bounce on Carvana, but just, I like the quick in and out. It's a $75 stock, you gotta give it a little bit of room. I'm giving some leeway to Intel because things have just gotten really nasty and I got no re-entry on this bad boy. But it is what it is. The weak stay weak. Never went against, never had to fight it. Now it's flushing into the downside. So all of a sudden, we're only short in Intel. The way this market's pulling back, I think taking profits on the long made sense. So getting the profits out of Meta looked good, but look at this thing. It's actually now going back into the 490. So it didn't look good at the time we took it out. Sometimes I do that and it gets to 500. Sometimes you do it and it looks really, really good in retrospect. You just got to stay in your pocket and trade your style because that's how it rolls.
Oh, man. Yes. And you want to talk about style? I mean, here we go. Styling and profiling. Ric Flair. Look at this, man. First of all, this NVIDIA is now $9 in the money. $9. We talked about this, man. In this kind of a market with these kind of days, this is what you're waiting for. You're not, you know, like the scalp is great, and I've done that, but look what's happening to ARM. Now $3 in the money on ARM. And by the way, like I can only do this every day. Maybe I should stop. There's ARM 132 as being the key short level. You know, this is what ARM looks like right here. Here's 132. We just took $3 there. And even as we were, first of all, let's raise the trophy. Second of all, you know, it just fell into 129 here. So that's like a pretty decent, but I think we could get lower, man. Why could we not take 128? You know, so far so good. It's a good thing we ended out of some Amazon. Like this is not even on my radar anymore because of everything else. So I apologize if you guys are in that Amazon trade. Honestly, we're at the highest level we've been at. We're green. You know, you could. I mean, you guys can see. I don't need to explain that. We're not comparing. Look at $13 now in the money for NVIDIA. Where do we even get out? Remember I was telling you like I wasn't feeling that well today and, you know, someone was like, yeah, man, maybe Sean looks like, you know, well, as long as the trading is there. All right, so here we go, man. It's a nice move down in. I might just exit all. I'm not even noticing that square is against me right now, actually. Let's go over there and have a look at that real quick, man. This is just another monster day here. NVIDIA is $14 in the money. you know, it's just been real good. I'm really glad that we went and got, actually the coffee is a little bit better today.
I told you it was better.
Get your claws out. We refilled this at 8:25. Who knew? All right, maybe we'll just play off 8:10 now for NVIDIA. I mean, look, we're trying to hold it for an 800 break. But at the same time, you know, it could make its way all the way back up. Forget it. Let's just hold it. All right, so right now,
Before we go to Adara,
yeah, sure, go
first
ahead.
double bottom on Rivian, so first shot it along. Yesterday, I waited till it made a double bottom. It's just put its first one in. I'm risking 4 cents on this trade. VWAP sits 20 cents higher. Just let you know, if it stops out, I'm going to risk 4 cents, just like yesterday. I want to risk 4 or 5 pennies to try and make a bunch on that thing as we'll go to Adara.
So much to talk about with the market today. Lots going on. NVIDIA above 800 after that stellar day yesterday on earnings. We also, in general, the market slightly positive today, up about 0.4% as a whole. We also had some earnings. Sean taking you through Block. We also had Carvana as well. So lots of positive catalysts making this market have a large move to the upside for some of these names. Other names worth discussing here today include SMCI. This one down about 10% after pricing a private offering of about $1.5 billion of convertible senior notes due 2029. So SMCI to the downside here. Also, Rivian, Neil just talking about this trade as well. Rivian down almost 11%, getting a downgrade from $24 to $8. Buy to sell from UBS. Also, Elon Musk making some comments about this brand and its future on X. Last but not least here, NIO down almost 7% after getting a downgrade from JP Morgan. So another EV name very much to the downside, NIO, guys.
As I said, 4 cents worth of risk on Rivian. I will never risk more than 10 cents on that trade. I'm looking 4 or 5 cents each time. I put a double bottom and I'll wait for the next time it tries to do it. But Patrick, appreciate that you like the point. I just put in the chat something. Days like today, you'll never hear it out of my mouth. I'm only going long or only going short. The market is willing to do whatever it wants to do. And sometimes you want to look for opportunities in either direction just in case you get a day like today. So it also makes it easier if you're looking for weakness somewhere and there is weakness, you can grab it. All that said, sticking to my style, which you know what it is, Intel's bottom yesterday was 42.6. It's now in the bottom end of the range, so I'm trailing it out. If it cannot break through yesterday's low, this is the price target shorting off of this high. So if we're shorting off of that high, I'm playing the range inside and take the stairs to the downside just to keep the consistency going with my particular trading style. That's what we talked about in the midday lesson of the day. Know your trading style. So I'm going to stick with it, see if we get back down into that low of the day. And the next, I think, might be Ivana. When the market's going down, sometimes the squeeze names are your jam. And Carvana, for now, is holding out these highs. When I was looking at it last, it was like 75. I flipped to Intel, it's back at 73, and I got a bad wick. So I want to see it holding VWAP here, see a little bit of green. I waited patiently for a consolidation here and then went long. Didn't just jump out in front of it, waited for it to make the setup, but I'll see if it can do it again.
Oh, man. I kid because of what we're doing here. We just got square bottom there at 78 again. And we just got out at 79.50 there. So, yeah, man, not bad. Yeah, today is just such a good day. Like Neil said, man, trade your own style, and today is just a banger day. All right, let's go back up to 80 bucks square. And are we calling for somebody? All right, what up, Adara?
NVAX is up right now, up about 7.5%, looking to run for the second day in a row. Yesterday, announcing that they reached a settlement agreement with Gavi related to a 2021 advanced purchase agreement for this COVID vaccine prototype. Also worth noting here, NVAX, they do have a 44% short float, so very significant short float there, guys.
I didn't realize NVAX was that big a short float.
Oh, yeah, I think it's been I think that's always been one of the bigger ones. There's that and there's another one, too.
Over 40 is gigantic. I'll get there in a second, but Meta's taking out the high of the day. While we're looking dips in Carvana, Meta decided to do what it does. It's the one that keeps on getting away from us. I have one trade. I'll look to make a second on a dip in the VWAP. I'm not buying highs today. it does not feel like a buying highs at 10 o'clock kind of day. So I'll have to be patiently wait for this to make some kind of a consolidation. Be patient, let the trade set up, then make the trade. See ball, hit ball. That's what's been working. So let's see if we can't do that again on Meta. It looks relatively strong to me. I haven't looked at Apple or Microsoft or I checked Google for like 2 seconds or any of those other names. Yeah, Apple's weak. Alphabet, I'm going to assume, is probably a little bit weak as well. Okay, no, Alphabet's kind of strong, but not enough. It's Meta. Meta's one of these names that's not a chip name that I think can go. So let's look for some Meta on a VWAP dip bounce.
I mean, thank you so much, Kevin Mendoza. I mean, if I wasn't here, how would you have the big bangers? I mean, you'll just have them yourself. Honestly, that's why we put out the sticky note. We're putting it out to show you guys levels that we like, levels of interest. And it's just been working. It's just been working. And I mean, I hope that you guys are learning a little bit about this kind of stuff and, you know, figuring out what's going to work for you and what's not, because that's all that matters. You have to be comfortable with when you're trading, right? And so and if you can find a style, that would be the biggest advice, is just get comfortable. It doesn't matter. Like you just saw Neil take that L on Rivian, 4 cents. That's not going to hurt anybody. So you gotta look at levels like that and try to figure out, you know, what's good. Like this is a $2 winner on ARM. It's bouncing off my levels. We already gave you 132. We wrote that down at 8 o'clock, you know, and it came in and we shorted here. We shorted, went against us. You know, that's part of trading, and now it's basing out. We take a great level there into the pre-market, then it bases out again, and we get another piece out. The only stock that I'm being a little frivolous with is NVIDIA, because I'm waiting for hell to break loose. So let's just see if that does happen. Breaking down through 800, I mean, it's already a trophy day. It's just trying to get it over that next level right now. And I mean, NVIDIA might be the play. It's already the number one P&L stock here. Let's just see if it can go. ARM is there as well. We do have an L on it. We have an L today. It's AMD. I mean, we tried to go long. The only thing is we should have shorted that there. But we are up 3 times NVIDIA what we lost on AMD. And it's position pending. I mean, if this goes back upside, then, you know, we're going to be in trouble a bit. But we're sold here. We won't be in trouble. But we'll sell there, and we'll see what happens. Right now, NVIDIA's carrying the day for everybody here. You know, proud to announce, you know, well, whatever. We'll talk about Obi again, but another great day in the back there for Obi. So congratulations, man. My Padawan over there doing quite well for himself. So congratulations to Obi, and then congratulations to another individual in the back as well. And then we'll go from there. But yeah, another big successful day here for some of the guys on the floor. And I just want to say congratulations to that. And a congratulations.
Great day, great week, great month.
Yeah, and
for everybody.
Yeah, and exactly. So that's why we've been doing it every single day, congratulating guys. It's great to see that's happening now on the floor.
Was there? I don't know if there's a call for Adara. I don't think I heard one.
No.
Pan W is up 5%.
Oh.
So I was talking about some of the other tech names that are running. I like Meta. Pan W relative strength through the roof, guys. Gonna look for VWAP dipping here at 277 to 278. I usually want to take the stairs up if something is strong and take the stairs down if something is relatively weak. So Pan W, which we did trade a couple of days ago on earnings, I think today is going to be the jam as well. Sam, the stock trader, Intel is chilling at the bottom. This has been sort of, for my style of trade, this has been the more safe one. Let it set up, false break, enter, profit in the range. Once it breaks out of the range, allow it to get to the next level down. But it is tightening up its consolidation. So instead of trailing it up here, I'm now going to trail it down here. If we get back into VWAP, I want the chance to be able to short VWAP in once again. And to the whole trade your style thing, I saw someone say something like, you know, why not take profits and get back in? Well, it depends on your trading style. If you see a re-entry in a stock, which is reasonable that you might get, you might want to get out to get back in. If you don't think it's going to give you another re-entry, then you want to hold. So it just comes down to your own style and your own preference. So I'm going to trail Intel at this low. We'll see what happens. Meta, this is a bad wick. It's still not really bouncing off you up yet. You're still in the kind of a higher low as the market is right back at 1805. So I'd like to see it show a little bit of green before going into the dip buy on Meta.
This is hilarious. I told my dad about getting out of Procter, and I said, oh man, I can't believe I've been getting out of NVIDIA on the way up. And you know what he says to me? By the way, NVIDIA now, guys, $15 in the money. My dad goes, and I've told you these stories before because we're a real one over here. Just enjoy the profits, as Kramer says, and go out and buy a sweater. At least you will be warm. That's like exactly what Kramer says. So I love you, Dad. Thank you so much for that, and I hope everything's going well for you, man. That guy means a hell of a lot. All right, so NVIDIA now. Let's go. I might just have to go refill my own damn coffee so I don't get out of this. We're down at $800. We are down at $800 right now. We are $17 in the money. So like I said to you guys, if you want the bangers, man, it's Sticky Note Nation, it's Trader TV Live, and you are here for yet again. We'll see if it's chicken today. Oh no, Stream Deck down. Oh no, it's not. We'll see if it's a chicken dinner winner today. I already know what the lunch is. I'll tease it a little bit later. While teasing it now, we'll tell you later. So look what we're doing today. Like, this is, you could say like, okay, he hit NVIDIA, right? Fluke. We're $1.50 in the money on Amazon right now. $1.50 in the money on Amazon. We are $2.50 in the money on ARM. Oh yeah, that's right. No rest for the wicked. Podcast tonight. Shout out to Brendo. $2.50 in the money on ARM. $15 in the money on NVIDIA. 28 cents. Boo-hoo, in the money on Square. The idea is, we'll take an L today on AMD. It's all good. But right now, we're going to watch out for NVIDIA. I assume you don't need a coffee, or you do?
I might take one.
I'm going to go.
Well, I just actually got flat. So remember we keep saying trade your own style? Hey, where's the audio when he comes in?
I didn't.
Okay. Oh, my earpiece, anyways. No, my earpiece is working. I didn't hear. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I'm now out. You'll see me out of Intel. That was weird. I always hear that. I'm out of Intel. Everyone trades your own style. I've sort of talked about why I like this and why I like the setup. It's short till it's not. There's a lot of ways to take a couple of points in the market. You can get it inside of the range. Remember Intel, it got about 1.5 points here. And you're not going to get yesterday's trade. Do not chase waterfalls, all that kind of good stuff. At 45, this thing is going to, at 45, this stock gave you 4 or 5% moves. Down here, you're getting 1 or 2% at the bottom because it's really getting close to support on Intel. So you've got to sort of tailor to the price action that you can expect. So that's the reason for getting it. I'm not expecting this thing to drop a couple of bucks like it did yesterday, but you got to keep it in the pocket. Tesla looks like a waterfall because I just said that. I don't disagree. It couldn't break. If this had gotten to 198, I probably have this one short. But you know what? For me, that's 197 in here. No, I need it testing the 198 in case it breaks, that I can have something at that price. Unfortunately, might have missed this one. Might have to start looking for those VWAP retracements this time of day. I hope a firm hasn't flushed either too much.
All right, we're going to tweet this out.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, good. All right, so right down here, the thing is, you're getting to the 200 period right now at $800. So I'm thinking that we could probably get out. I mean, we have these monster winners on board, and we're just bouncing off the 200 period. This has been something that we've looked at before over and over again. So I am going to take the out if we can get back into 803. Maybe we're getting a little bit to like, maybe 804.50. I don't know. I don't really want to give it up, but it's already the biggest trade of the month for Trader TV Live, P&L wise, well, and dollar wise, obviously. But all right, so well, actually, no. You know what? I made more on Amazon, that Amazon short. But okay, so 804.50 coming into play here for NVIDIA. I'm just going to take that. We're $1.70 in the money. But the thing about ARM is we only have 25% left. We have 25% left of Square. I've asked Rob for a coffee. He's going to be bringing it.
I just made sure my heater was
right now. And then we're multiple dollars on every stock right now. So we're going to wait. I do take what you guys are saying to heart there. I was reading in the chat, people were telling me to take NVIDIA profits here at VWAP, right? So it just goes back to, as we keep saying, trade your own book. And if your trade is to scalp out real quick, fine. Just look at the numbers at the end of the month. That's all that matters, right? If your style is working, you'll have a plus number there. If it's not working, you'll have a minus number there. And that's why you can ask us at any time if we are green or red on the day, or you can ask us on individual names as well, anything like that. And we do have, by the way, more Trader TV Live. Mark's working on it right now. You can see our positions as we trade throughout the day. Just Neil and I for now. Well, I guess it'll probably only ever be us. But we're taking more and more of that because I don't even know where Sharif is, and he leaves as soon as he's done. So.
One note, I'm going to say this out loud. I did cover Intel, and it's saying that I'm still short, but I don't know. I covered that a while ago. So if you have any questions about it, just don't hesitate to throw questions, and we'll update positions. They're obviously working through some kinks and some bugs out there, but I am flat. I don't have any positions on right now, and I think it still shows Intel.
All right. Is there anything you're looking at?
So there's
We're a dollar in the money square.
There's a new thing I was gonna whatever.
Yeah, go. That's what I'm asking you.
No, I haven't tested this yet. I'm gonna be able. We can make some notes on the channel to be able to tell you what's going on. So I was gonna put it in there, and it'll see it here. Like I'll be able to put a note that says I am now flat in Intel. It's not there. I just haven't thrown it out there yet. That's just a way that we can correct some of the bugs, and you guys can know the actual position. So I'm gonna get that up in a second.
All right, good. Yeah, PAN-W really reacting. So NVIDIA goes down to that 802, and we did not get out, right? So that's going to be a little bit of a problem there. It's not a problem. It's just obviously we're degrading our net here because we're just going to give back here $4 or $5. I mean, realistically, 805. Like I feel like we should have got out at 80. Like 804 is the 200 period moving average. Like we use that all the time. I told you that we're here for destruction. You know, we choose pain today instead of good vibes.
Mark.
So we'll have to wait on it now, though, because what is maybe possibly a pain trade is about to get a little more painful potentially here. So we'll wait and see if it comes through. But right now, U.S. about some news, nothing crazy. All right, so NVIDIA. I haven't been checking my positions on there. I'm going to assume they're right. Amazon's $1.50 in the money. ARM has come back, but we told you it was a little bit of a smaller play there for us on ARM. Well, not smaller. It was a big play, but we've already. I'm still. That's too bad. So Square right now is $1. NVIDIA's here as well. Oh man, I don't really want to get out on a VWAP break of 811, but that is where VWAP is. Oh man, that's gonna suck to give that back, but looks like we might have to do it. Okay, 811, we'll have to get it back, take $7, man. It was 13 in the money at one point. It was more than that. I mean, it went down to 801. So anybody that got that wick down there, man, congratulations, to be honest with you. If this pulls back a little bit, I feel like we could just take it out. Maybe 806 now, something in and around those ranges. Just not, for me guys, not really worth doing all of this. It's worth it. I mean, like I said, it's worth it. It's a big day. It's just, you got to watch out. You got to sort of make sure that you're doing the right move. 129.50. I'm going to put another one now. There's something about USA and Mexico here with visas and stuff like that. USA trying to influence Canada, something about Mexican visas. Thank you so much, Rob, for that as we get the refill on coffee. Ooh, I like it. It's like, my cat is the most handsome black cat you've ever seen, but I like this one. Some gray.
Thank you very
nice.
much,
You got 3 cats, did you
He said
say?
he has 3 cats.
Ooh, send a picture. 3 what? Ooh, send them. I like to see them. I'll send you mine. Yeah, cool. All right.
Here comes Meta down to that 490 level. I'm looking VWAP or trace on the weak names. So that's going to be obviously Intel, might not even get that. Affirm is nowhere close, but it's starting to pop back to the upside, so I do like shorts on Affirm. But if there's a bounce left, it's the original entry on Meta. Vana's looking at a pocket, so it's already bounced 490 once on Meta. If it can show me another wick bottom, I'd go for that. But wakey, Affirm, 37.5. That's what I would want to short back into on Affirm. If this market is headed for any kind of a red day, let's pick on something which is already to the red side. And that did work. So on the other channel, you can see it says now position is out. So that way it's an easy way for me to communicate that I'm not really in that position. Keep an eye on SMCI. 900 is coming back in here a little bit. I do think if this can pop back through, you might have an opportunity for some of the chip names to get back to the upside. So as I'm looking to enter back into a short on Intel, I will watch that a little bit closely. But that's showing signs of giving me a second entry here.
Okay. I'm wondering if we just take this square out. I just wonder if we have a move back up to the upside here on square, where we're going to be with it. So I feel like it's worth sitting around here for a little bit on square. But again, my biggest worry now, I've already told you this. We've put a bid now at 806. I mean, now we're bouncing off literally 807. So if we can break that, then I think we're going to be doing a little bit better here on getting that opportunity. But all right, maybe 807, honestly. I don't want to just keep giving this up, but it's like we have such a big winner right now on this that I've already seen like my profits disappear a little bit here on that name. And we are short ARM, and ARM's trying to go back upside now. And I'm debating getting a reload in this name as well. But again, if it takes 133, like I don't want to, we've already put some damage on the board here on both ARM and NVIDIA, to say the least, being the #1 and #2 stocks here today on the show. But we're gonna have to wait because ARM is probably the one that's in danger. I am bidding here 807.50. If it comes down, let's take it, man, and then take 11.50 on the trade. I just, oh shoot, now I'm starting to feel some ways. Okay, you know what? Scrap this. 808.50 break. All right, if we break 808.50, we're going to be out. So I just put that stop order in. You know, the funny thing is, guys, every day we come up with some of these ideas. You know where my stop on NVIDIA was? We're short at 819, was 821. So $2 worth of a stop for an $11 winner. You know, we talk about trading our style and things like that. You know, that's the kind of stuff every day we're trying to hold something that we think has a potential to do something like that. And it looks like that's what it was there. NVIDIA definitely gave us that opportunity. So we'll take it, and now we'll just wait to see. So I'm just gonna see if this goes down. We could have just got 7s there, right? I was gonna wait, so I do have a stop order up there at 850. So if it breaks through 850, that's where we're going to get out, and then I don't have to, here it comes, then I don't have to worry about it as much. So, all right, we'll see if it goes down a little bit lower here. We initially said 805s. I feel like we could put that bid there now and see if we get this 806. So that's initially where we were, and there it is. Ended out right there. That's the end of that trade. It's just a small $13 winner right there. Oops, we're not even seeing it because I'm on square. Right there for NVIDIA. All right, wow. Yeah, so that was that. That just happened. 1022, there it is, man. We talked about one good trade. NVIDIA was one good trade. It was actually two. We had 2 load ups there. Good move all the way back in. Whether or not it breaks 800 now, we will reassess then. But we'll put this out, man. There it is. That's the end of the trade. Congratulations if you trailed on that. Congratulations if you trailed on ARM. Congratulations if you trailed on Square. Not a congratulations if you trailed on Amazon because that's making a move back down in. But let's go over to Adara right now as if. There goes NVIDIA, but down into 800, probably going to break 8 bills there. There goes NVIDIA. Huge move to the downside. And we got out. We should have just kept our 80, 850 there, but hey, we're here, and that was a banger for me. So, you know, we'll take it, but there it goes, man. Nice move to the downside. Right there, right now. So, all right. Damn it. Honestly, Adara, man, I'd love to throw to you, but for right now, NVIDIA is trying to take down 800. We should still be in this. I can't believe we just got out at 806. But, you know, would you ever thought that you'd be disappointed in a $13 winner? You know, hi, my name's Trader TV, Sean. Welcome to my world. And actually, we posted that yesterday. If you want to go see it, and maybe I should just read this myself. And thank you again for all the love on this, man. Over 7,000 or 6,000 views right now. You know, here it is. The pursuit of I'll be happy when is a common saying, right? Just be happy with the trade that you make. And that's what that is, man. No FOMO. We talked about that here. Just positive vibes. And that's really been working out for us, man. It's another one of those days. Thank you for watching, and we can go to Adara.
A little bit of a curl to the upside here for the IWM, the Russell 2000, just pretty much flat on the day right now, going kind of oscillating between slightly positive and slightly negative, but definitely a bit of a curl we're seeing right now on the IWM. Lots of small cap artists to talk about, and some of these multi-day names. Monopar pulling back a little bit here, but still up about 30% yesterday, announcing that there are some positive results with regards to a tumor treatment from the company MNPR. We also have Novavax. This is another 2-day runner. NVAX announcing purchasing or settlement of the purchasing agreement with Gavi from 2021. This one also has a notable short float over 40%. Last but not least, MRVI, Maravai Life Sciences, again pulling back a little bit here, but still up over 50% after an earnings beat across the board here. Lots of small cap runners today, guys.
They're running without us today, let's be real. Because the only one I looked at that I guess qualifies, and I don't even know if it qualifies because I call it a squeeze play, and that's Carvana. But we're not back into that because it never set up again. Waited for Intel to show me a re-entry. It popped. There's your consolidation top at 90s, consolidation lower in the mid-80s, short the mid-80s, got some out mid-70s, low of the day 42.65. So I don't like your chance to get 1.5 to 2%. I think that move already happened. NVIDIA pulled back that far. I mean, SMCI is now bouncing. Remember that 900 on SMCI? It's back above 900. I think the chance to get monster shorts on the chips might have been gone in terms of percentage gain. So the scalp trade is what is going to be left. Don't sleep on Rivian at $10. I think it has a decent chance to get there. Meta, sometimes you can want it to bounce somewhere, but it doesn't mean it wants to do it. So it just got into the 90s back and forth. I still think it's worth another shot, but I'm not holding that down to 488, catching on the way down. Like I need to see, let's see it level off a little bit. You're gonna see me in and out when I'm getting the falling knife trade and try to take a small hit there, but the better trade is either on the way up when it's breaking out or the consolidation bottom, and there is a firm. So the first short on a firm is $1.20 later, but it is what it is. You're not short at the top, so what? Suck it up, Buttercup, and take the next trade. We'll play it into VWAP here on a firm. Sometimes you've just got to make the next play. Would be nice to say we're short a firm off of the high, but that's not a play we can recreate. Would have loved to have been in there. We took Intel instead when the market was looking weak, but now we're into a firm into VWAP. If it gets to 37, just note that it had some strength at that price. Want to take profit out in front of it. Alphabet making some moves apparently. Dr. J says ARM is flying. Great name, by the way. I love Dr. J. I ran into him at Sawgrass Mills Mall. He's super, that guy is so chill, and he's obviously as tall as all you know what, and he can still dunk. But I like ARM 135, so if it's flying into the zone any second now.
Yeah, we're back short ARM right now. We got taken out when it broke through 133. We talked about that, and now we just took a quick little profit there. We re-shorted at 133.70 there, and we got out at 133.15. So we're going to short here against 134, and if it breaks, then you guys are dead on that one. Pretty hot name today is ARM. We had that short yesterday. Sorry, we had the long yesterday until it puked into the close. And I was just thinking like, hey, today, this should be another short. So we'll still hold it. Like I said, man, wow, I'm still, we're still up here from that NVIDIA and some of the trades that we've had today. I mean, Square right now is $1.30 in the money. Amazon's $1, and we'll have to wait to see if ARM pulls back at all from these levels. So, all right, what's up, Abe?
Easy fill. EZFL just got a massive spike on volume here, now up about 80%. Yesterday, they announced their preliminary 2023 revenue, so they're seeing about 54% upside year over year. Also worth noting, really small float on this one, 1.44 million shares, guys.
Easy fill. Okay, I'm looking at that 135. Maybe it gets there. Got attention to there. A bit of a curl happening, but I have a bid out now on a firm to take some profit. This is getting, it's a little parabolic relative to the chart today, but it's not nearly as parabolic relative to the moves that it had last week. Like it's still in the pocket. These are the parabolic moves. It's in the pocket at this 135 level. So I just want to be able to, it's back to 134. Might have missed the curl there. It is what it is. I missed that offer by about 15 cents, but you know what? It didn't get it. It is what it is.
Yeah, missing trades is a thing for sure. All right, we're going to get back into ARM, though. I mean, I'm being a little bit stubborn. Like I said, we're already we shouldn't just like rest on, you know, the big trades, but you know, we're here to make money, and I'm not just going to throw money around again. Oh, by the way, NVIDIA just breaks 8 bills right there. So of course, you know, we should be still in this, but we are in this now. And there it is, another one. So there it goes, man. Let's see how far down we can get now for NVIDIA. All right, there it is. We're short again. Sharif, man, you're missing a hell of a lot, dude. 820 short, $15. Now we're at NVIDIA. We're short again at $800. Okay, $4 in the money again now. I mean, let's just keep this party going, man. Let's get another piece out, and then we can hopefully relax. This could still bounce back up. We talk about this, man. I mean, let's just wait. This has just been such a fun day. It's been such a fun week. It's been such a fun month that, you know, I hope that you guys are also enjoying.
Jensen and the boys selling.
Yeah, man. I mean, that was obvious at some point.
Well, he's only like the thing is he has to file to sell, so you find that out after the fact, usually a couple of months after the fact. So we'll find out in a month or two if they are. But shout out in the chat. I love that advice, and I do it all the same time. Miss a trade, just who cares? It is what it is. Like move on to the next. Like ARM was the right level at 135. So what? It missed it by 20 cents. You know, that was the one price I wanted. We got Affirm, we got Intel. Those are both heading back into the low. So winning trades are winning trades, and it is what it is. But ARM is bouncing, so I do have to still go back over to it. I canceled my offer. I did just miss the fill in here, but I got to work with what's happening. I got a head and shoulders wick off the 134. So now I'm going to look for the 134 level.
Yeah, baby.
Crypto with Federa.
It is what it is, and it is crypto.
Interesting story, actually, that came out of Reddit's IPO filing with the SEC yesterday that is related to crypto. We did have Reddit disclosing that they invested some of their excess cash in Bitcoin and Ether holdings, also acquiring some Ether and Polygon as a form of payment for the sale of certain virtual goods. So a bit of an interesting crypto-related side note to that Reddit IPO set to debut, or at least they're filing to trade on the NYSE as RDDT. So interesting little tidbit there. Bitcoin itself continuing to fall off that consolidative top we saw forming in the mid to latter part of February here at the 52,000 level. We are now just breaking below that 51,000, so seeing a little bit of a downward move. This would be the third day straight. Bitcoin, yeah, like I said, just below that 51,000, 58. Ethereum actually down about 2.37%, but still holding up above that 2,900 level. So not a bad look for Ethereum despite the downside. Really, we do have downside across the board for a lot of these cryptocurrencies, though. BNB down 1.97%, Solana down about 4.5%, Ripple 2.2%, Cardano down 3%. Brought to you by Benzinga Pro. Sign up today for 50% off their premier news and research platform for retail traders with code TTV, capital letters. Use the link in the description to go to checkout.
I'll slap it. Talk about the wins, got to talk about the hits. I missed the first 135. I waited for it to get back in there. Had to short off that level. You'll see it break the local high. Trade with stops. Stop got ran. 138 is the next place I'll even think about shorting that stock. Entirely too strong right now. It is what it is. It probably comes back down at some point because I don't believe the buyers in ARM should be this exuberant when NVIDIA is underneath $800. But that's just me. It's not the 12th yet, but that's the day of reckoning for ARM. Affirm, like I said, took some profit, the first 20-cent move in off of this lower high on on Affirm. If we get down to the low of the day, we'll look to get out of it. Still short that Intel. I do want to check back in on Carvana. This was the runner du jour, but suddenly strength off 73, which took you to 75, is looking a little bit like weakness off 73. The good news is it's holding 70. So for the bulls out there, that 70 key breakout price is still your bottom. Would love to see it make another test here and put in a higher low. Then I'd look to jump in on Carvana for a secondary trade. It's up 37%. Doesn't mean it can't go a little bit further. So got to be a little bit patient with it. But ARM, that's too much of a blowout at that top. That trend is clearly to the upside.
I was going to show you guys here. Open image in a new tab. Yeah, so this is Rob's black cat. Man, I love black cats. They're so handsome. So this actually looks very, very similar to mine. So this looks like William as well. So I'll get a picture of William very, very soon for everybody. Follow me on Twitter for more funness right there. Yeah, so that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll play some pets going back and forth a little bit there. All right, so we took $4 again on NVIDIA. We've only taken about net $20 so far on this name today. And it is what it is with that as well. Square, 50 cents in the money. Amazon, 70 cents in the money. But ARM is now going to be a red name. I mean, I just shorted the living you-know-what out of this thing all the way up, and it just kept on breaking. So we'll be red on ARM today, which sucks because it was one of, well, was my top, well, not, I guess initially it was my top stock, and then we went over to NVDA, and then the whole day changed. All right, so that's that. We definitely saw this AMD move. That's why we were in and out so fast on this. When we broke that 181, man, it just continued to get lower. We wrote down here today, I mean, we knew that this was going to be a trouble spot for AMD. We were looking for a 184 break long, and actually, that's pretty much the high today, 184.85. So again, we'll talk about learning and getting better at things as we go. First of all, ARM, let's get another piece out because we just tanked on ARM. So maybe it won't be red after all. But anyways, what I was getting at there, and I can't remember anymore, was that you have to be patient with the plays and make the plays that you want to make. I mean, we're here all day. Right now. It'll be a very good day, and you never know where these trades are going to come from. You know, we let NVIDIA settle, basically. I mean, when it was going straight to the upside there, I was like, oh, man. And remember, I wrote my dad, and he's like, yo, buy yourself a sweater. So we did that yesterday when we got out. But there we go again. Like, you never know where this day is going to take you. And right there, man, it's a trophy kind of a day. Look at it. This is $5 in the money again, guys. Neil, $5 right there as the airplane action is here again. We're landing in. Where are we landing? Nobody knows. But it seems like we're landing upside right now in some stocks and downside in others. It's NVIDIA, and we are starting to crank lower, lower, lower. We need something like that, not just a money, money, money thing. We'll go like that for NVIDIA. And then, of course, we stay true to who we are and try to watch out for the levels. And there it is again, our friend ARM. So we just got a 134 fill there for ARM. That was $1. So hopefully this will pull back in as well. NVIDIA, honestly, guys, right now, I mean, you know, obviously we're playing with house money here, but it's just a small. Like when we got that $4, that was great. Now we can hold this just so we can have some fun. So that's what we're gonna do, is try to have a little bit of fun with this NVIDIA. I mean, honestly, target if we can break above there, 8. I mean, that's not even fun. 802 maybe and out, but again, the damage has already been done on this name. So good day overall. 1037 right now. We've got some Pan WIC. That could be a good trade there. I like that.
We'll see.
And then Intel and Affirm.
We'll see. I mean, it was about waiting for it to hold VWAP, and it's trying to hold VWAP right now. Firm hasn't reloaded yet. I'm just literally on the offer of Affirm, like a couple cents away. But Pan W up 4%, relatively strong all morning, but no, the market has been bouncing to the downside. So just to set it up, the reason should be kind of obvious. Previous high, holds that same level at 278. Wick underneath, this is it breaking underneath, and then coming back to the upside, get long on the way up, and put the stop underneath the bottom wick there, which is like 277 and a half. So it's about $1 worth of risk. If it breaks out, look for some out in front of 280, then look for the high of the day. Affirm is coming back to the upside into VWAP, so we'll have to watch out for that. Oh, Vana. Really, Carvana? So Vana's headed back in. Might have to look for a VWAP play here. I like Pan W, so hopefully this one works out. I'm saying hopefully. The setup is a setup, but I chose Pan W over Carvana on the dip buy. So clearly, when you choose one over the other, you'd like it to work out, and Carvana is clearly going already. So congratulations. If you took Carvana off of 70 instead of Pan W, you are looking very smart here. Pan W just starting to go. I think Pan W was an easy buy in the long term. Today, looking fantastic. But remember, they sold the living you-know-what of this off earnings. It's making a base out. 280 is a pretty key level. Take profit in front of it. If it blows that out again, I think you could really start to fill in this gap.
All right, some Carvana love.
Carvana.
Right there. All right. I'm still kind of in the same deal here. We'll talk about ARM. I mean, ARM could be, again, we always talk about this. Could be a banger, could not. So it just went down to 34 again. I'm waiting at 32 now. That was going to be a level that we had looked at before. So let's try it again. Carvana or ARM down there at 32. If we break that 36, we're gone. That's where the stop is. What's up with Sector Watch? Let's go.
Lots of green across the board here following yesterday's rally. Of course, we do have to talk about these tech sectors. Electronic technology, NVIDIA, still green, but one of the few tip names to do so, notably AMD, very much to the downside right now. A little bit of strength as well in tech services. Meta, very strong today. Of course, finance, health technology, both mostly green. Retail trade, a little bit more mixed, but consumer non-durables, after coming off of a weaker day yesterday, very strong today. Energy minerals, though, a little bit weaker. Consumer non-durables, Tesla leading to the downside right now. Also worth noting, consumer services generally pretty positive, but a bit of negativity from Airbnb and Booking Holdings, Booking down after its earnings report. So really mixed look, but generally lots of positivity across the board here, specifically for some of these finance and health related names, guys.
Yeah, Booking's in like that Mercado Libre range of prices where you don't trade it as a day trader.
They would split.
Where is the split on stocks like those? Anyways, we'll have a discussion about splits at some point. I feel like there's a lot that could be coming this year if this market decides to continue doing what it's doing. There's got to be a lot of splits out there, and I'm talking about reverse splits like Walmart's, which, by the way, is your last day to trade at over $100, and it's reverse splitting. So PanW starting to go. Did jump out of Intel. As it broke some support, resistance, I should say. Got to make sure you have your stop. It got through the 90 level, so we reloaded it here with a local out right at that 90. So keep it nice and tight. If it gets to VWAP, fair enough. What's up?
No, it's just like NVIDIA is another $5. Like it just keeps on making that magic happen, man. All right. So we'll just sit here and relax. I mean, NVIDIA just bounced again off 795. Like, at some point, this is going to get bought up. Like, you guys, honestly, I'm not in any significant shares right now. Like, you can see I'm not panicking the way we sort of were here when we had a $13, $14 winner there. But, again, you know, we're just going to wait. All right, so that's that. Amazon still in the pocket. What else did we write down here? Let's just go over. And what you guys, if you guys are watching for the first time, thank you so much. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, in all of that. So we had here Amazon 175 long. Amazon right now is at 175. So, okay, interesting. Uber, actually, let's go check out Uber. Square is well in the money as well, but that's faded out. Square is going to be, again, another top stock here today on the show. AMD long was wrong. We got out of that. That's our only loss. And then the short sell on ARM, the 132 was key until it wasn't. So right now we are short ARM again, and we just took a little bit of money. So the only thing that we haven't really discussed here at all from the sticky note, by the way, NVIDIA, Neil, is now $7 in the money. Anything on that?
I like it.
Good, me too. All right, yeah, $7 there. I don't know where we're gonna go on it. ARM is still 5 cents in as well. That's at 135. I just talked about that kind of tongue in cheek there with that one. But by the way, we are now $10. $10 in the money now on that. Okay. That is a day, man. That is a day. This is a day. We were, you know, like maybe the $13 winner was a fluke. Here's another one. This is 11. Right here. You're going to go with the professor, man. It's going to be a great day. But we've already talked about this. If you guys are in any kind of serious shares right now, I have no idea how far NVIDIA is going to go down. But think about this. It's still green. I'll leave that.
That's the crazy thing.
I'll leave that with you.
But it's not green for long. It's green by 0.5%, which realistically is the spread on NVIDIA. Like it can move that in essentially one person selling.
Easily.
Like remember, like you move $10, that's a 1%, 1.25% move. You know what I mean? Like Like, it's over pretty easily.
Over.
And the market, by the way, just gave up support.
Bang!
Which means when you talk about adjusting plans, so normally we just broke support. I'm gonna make a decision, and then I'm gonna show you the reason why. Here is the range on PanW. If I'm giving it essentially 70 cents to $1 to try to get a breakout here for a bigger move, when the market takes out support, I suddenly scalp 70 cents and tighten the stop. So the stop goes from risking $1 to risking 50 cents as an adjustment because things got weak. So it's all about looking at your plan, being able to reassess. The NASDAQ just gave up the you-know-what. So I'm going to change my plan on that one. Look, we just take out that 18.5. You're now heading back into the downside, so I'm not going to turn the trade, which is green, into a red trade for me on PanW. Take the profit. Normally, I don't think it's worth it to grab that dollar in that range, but the market's telling me otherwise. And when the market speaks, you have to listen. Affirm continues to head to the downside. This has been a relatively chill short, but it's at 37 now. We'll try to take that out here. So 37.4 to 37. The firm's been red most of the day, so it's not like it's going green to red. It was green very, very briefly, and then now back into the red for about 1 point into the downside here on Affirm.
Yeah, our shorts have been nothing outside of chill today. They've been very, very nervous levels, and we're in another one with Affirm. Affirm just touched 134 again. We could have taken $1 again on that one. ARM, sorry, yeah, you're in Affirm.
Yeah, I did the same thing earlier.
Yeah, I've been doing that. I mean, there was one day I was short AMD, Apple, Affirm, and Amazon, and probably another A. But I haven't seen you here before. J2 trade right there. Thank you so much. I respect you for watching the show, so thank you so much for that. I mean, you know, this is day trading, and you know, you'll have good days, you'll have bad days, and you just want to, you know, make sure that you capitalize when the good days are there, and that's for sure. But I think we should put another bid down here at 134. We've just seen it bounce a couple times now. I was waiting at 132.60. I still am. Sorry, 132.20. If that comes in, then we will take that. For sure. But again, I'm not sure that is going to come in. Here we go. We got another update here from Rob. He must want his pets to become famous here. All right, he's going to tell us here. Aussie is the brown guy here, and Leia is the L-E-I-A, is the mixed color one right here. So there you go, a brown and a little bit, I wonder what you call, striped? I don't know. Is this a stripe? I don't know what this is, but
you know pets more than I do, so I'm not going to attempt to embarrass myself with that one. I call it cute.
They're so cute, so cute.
Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, rabbits are for me, but those guys are pretty cute. They're rabbits.
When I'm doing dishes and see the rabbits in my backyard, I'm not usually happy about seeing them. The rabbits, you know how rabbits populate? Let's just leave it at that. So when you get a few and you have to guard against them in your garden in the back, you have a different relationship with them. That's all.
Yeah. Wild
animals are nice, but rabbits are, you know, they are what they are, and they can be a bit of a pest.
You guys should get a pet, man. I'm telling you.
That one is up to, like, I'm not a huge pet person. I go, that is up to my wife and my daughter. I go, if you guys decide you want one, I'm 100% for it. It's just, you know, it'll be Aaron's decision, and if my wife is cool with it, because I'm not one way or the other when it comes to pets. My dad was the one who, when I was a kid, my dad was like, he never wanted us to have pets. It is a sad story, but like, he grew up in the islands, 10 people in one house, and when you had a goat, and you know, it is what it is, right? Like, he was the youngest of the boys, and he's the one that fell in love with it. But at some point, when you're short on money, it is what it is, and that was a sad thing for him. So he was never into pets, unfortunately, because he had that experience.
And that's more same as my family. We never had pets growing up, and it was been the best. I mean, other than marrying my wife.
Well, I mean, kids are different.
Kids
are different.
No. I'm saying like your kid would love it. That's why I'll just tell her.
She's never asked. Like, she's never actually asked.
All right, I'll put the bug in her ear. All right.
Don't tell Rebecca that.
All right, so here we go, guys. There's ARM again. I don't know. I'm not really even sure what else we could tell all you guys here about the trading that we're doing today. The writing is on the wall. Hopefully you guys are having a successful day. Not everyone's going to be green, not everyone's going to be red, but you just have to try to make good decisions. And as long as you do that, at the end of the day, you can sleep, and that's all that matters, right? You're going to have bad trades. And when days like today happen, you just have to make sure you have your stops and or you have trades like this. I mean, honestly, it doesn't take much. Squares winning as well has been a good trade today. Just as we keep saying, man, stay in the pocket, stay doing what you're doing. Make sure you're having a good time doing it, because the minute you don't like what you're doing, you're probably either working out or, you know, in a job that you don't want to be in. So just, you know, if you're taking this as a serious job, obviously you're going to try to make some income doing stuff like this. So you got to figure out your trading style. And definitely, you're going to see in the midday show when they talk about sim trading and all that stuff, make sure that you put your account in the right spot before you go live. I mean, you want to make sure that you have the success and the trading style and the plan of action, which is why and what stemmed from this show. I was doing all of this for all of real trading by myself for years and years and years. And then we decided to bring it to the masses, and that's spurned this show. We brought on Neil, we brought on Brendan, and now we have a great midday show as well. And Adaro's over there, and our production team continues to absolutely rock it. So yeah, again, guys, join us every single day as I'm feeling like we're putting on the best show on the web, and we've talked about that over and over again, and we're proving it every day. So hopefully you're seeing this kind of trading and you're enjoying yourself, because I know we are. So all right, are we going over now or not yet? All right, over to the desk with Adara, and let's talk about money talks.
The DXY setting up for its first negative week of 2024. I actually do have the weekly chart set up here to show. Interestingly enough, also too, kind of rejecting off that earlier area of support and resistance that we also saw on the daily. So that 104 area here, very much an area for downside for the DXY, making this move down here. We had a lot of Fed speak yesterday. No economic data today, but lots of Fed speak yesterday. Basically, the general theme of this was that there, you know, some positivity coming in terms of potential inflation, lower coming down, but not wanting to move too soon. Fed's Waller definitely making some comments to that regard, saying that he wants to wait at least another couple months before any rate cuts are discussed. However, he is confident that they may be able to lower rates at some point during 2024. So no real hard dates, but that's kind of what Fed Waller was saying there. Also worth noting, Fed's daily speaking at 1:30 p.m. today, so definitely stay tuned for that. But other than that, not a lot going on with the DXY other than its first negative week potentially for the new year, guys.
Like I said, you always want to have your plan of action. You saw the decision that I made with PanW. The market was looking weak, so instead of holding for the break, I scalped some out. But it's the VWAP play. It's a patient setup, but if you get it, it tends to work out for you when you're going with the trend. I just grabbed another % move there. It was a nice $3 play, but I look at that lower high. The second you start stalling out at that price, I saw stacked up offers and some sellers take the money and run. Look for the next opportunity, because you know there is going to be one. No matter how patient you've had to be. I've been flat multiple times today, and there's always been something else to jump into. So PanW, I love it. I like the fact that it's strong. We'll see if it can continue. I'd love to play off VWAP again, but it doesn't mean that's going to set up again. Now, Firm, you're going to see the pattern here. Here's pre-market low. Here is the rejection off of that. You're in a clear channel. What I don't like, wick bottom through 37, higher low off 37, into the same resistance zone. Higher lows into the same resistance means I'm not reloading this a third time, once, twice. I do not want to see this higher lows into that. It looks like a potential breakout. So if we break out 37.5, I'm out of a firm. If it holds it, I'll look for lower highs to join back into that trade. Just the way that I'm approaching it. Not everyone has to do it that way, but that's the reason I like it. That's the reason I like to trade like certain key price levels, but you have to be able to adjust to the price action. You don't just keep shorting the same level because it's working. If it's showing you signs of a breakout, you can back off and not take that trade. Speaking about backing off and not taking trades, remember about Meta? Just because I like the long at 490 doesn't mean I'm going to be stubborn about it. It worked and it was my best trade early, but I'm not going to turn that into a red name when suddenly it looks weak. So hands off Meta for me. Sometimes that trade you don't make can be the saving grace of your day. Because if I was fighting Meta all the way down, I wouldn't be up today. But hey, we got the patience, so let's stick to it. Let me know what you guys are trading in there. I know there's some small caps that we haven't even been paying attention to, Lunar being one of them. It's finally catching a bit of a bid. But that sucker dropped 25% before it did.
Yeah, nice trade there on Pan W. Every time you're going long on Pan W, I like that. So
260 bot.
yeah, for sure. Good trade there. I like that Pan W. And again, a day 2 play, day 3 play. Those can often be pretty darn good trades. That is for sure. So okay, yeah, good look on that one. Probably should have had something on Pan W on the sticky note, but we'll maybe look at that at lunch. But good trade there. Okay, so NVIDIA is still doing its own dance here. I feel like you can maybe just watch the 50 period. The 50 period's still well in the pocket at 800, so that would still put a profitable trade on if it breaks above that. But again, you know, this level's held. I didn't make a mistake here because we got out at the 200 period. We sort of rectified it at least by going short again at 800, but it doesn't. I mean, Neil just mentioned something there about like hitting the trade, and then if the level doesn't look good, you don't have to get back to it. But actually, you asked what's for lunch. I actually have a disappointment. I didn't see, unless I
we
deleted the email yesterday.
It was in yesterday's email.
No, because I don't. Yesterday's email I have. Actually, yeah, I can't.
It is. I have it.
Yeah, okay, go for it because I think I deleted it and I can't find it.
You can hit the thing.
Yeah, okay, let's go. What's for lunch?
I'm only laughing because
pasta?
if you guys guessed, you know exactly what for lunch is if you've been watching every single day. It is country roasted chicken
NVIDIA.
with roasted mini potatoes and sweet corn succotash.
Yes,
Okay.
sounds pretty good.
No, that's the second part of that sounds pretty good, but roasted chicken is about
Guys,
par for the course. About par for the
NVIDIA's,
course.
yeah, that's a good one. I like that lunch. That should be good. Obviously, we talk about chicken all the damn time. Okay, we are actually going to end the show now with an unrealized, our highest spot all day. Like, so that's, to me, that's going to be something pretty special to be able to do that. ARM, we just got a fill there at 135.50 and got out at 134.70. So, like, we're taking profit all over the place now. So it's like a little undercover profits and stuff. We'll put another bid here at 134 flat maybe. And again, just what I mean by undercover, it's like we're taking these positions, but they're filling because the market's moving so fast. And we talked about getting out at 136. Oh my God. Our highest spot all day. Oh, that's funny. NVIDIA is, Sharif, it's another $11, my guy, right there in the money on this one. So we had one $14 winner earlier on NVIDIA, right there. We have another one building as we speak, but it was already been down here. It's already been down to 787 before, and we didn't take it. Will we do it now? Nobody knows except for those of you. You see this segue? This is, never trained, Sharif. Except for those of you who are watching more Trader TV, because we will show our positions on there and you'll be able to see what's good throughout the midday, so you don't have to bother Sharif and Adara wondering what our positions are.
But you still can.
You still should, though. There it is again. Another. Where's DJ at right here? Where is he? There he is. Another one. Another one. Thank you, Mr. Khalid. There's ARM. ARM is now starting to get in. We just took that trade, and yes, you are right, DJ. It is another one coming through right there. So far, so good on that one. ARM right there. We just shorted 135.50. We just got out at 134. That's another $1.50. Like, I'm not, we love, I love Fridays for many reasons, and today it just became pretty much my favorite day of the week. So we love Friday. Today is another good day. You think we're having fun now? We're going to have a lot of fun on the podcast. Like I told you, no rest for the wicked. You guys wonder why I look like shit every morning. All right, so let's go. We have the podcast tonight. We have banger trades today. We're back at 2 p.m., man. This is just getting started. Thank you for all the kind emails the other day, by the way, as well. Thank you to Nimit. Thank you to everybody that's been messaging on Instagram and on Twitter. And I think we got a couple messages on LinkedIn, but I got to get that account going. It's been a really great week, man. We had the greatest show in Trader TV Live history on Wednesday with the market recap show. We're about to have the greatest podcast in Spotify history. That's coming tonight. And then we have potentially, Sharif, I don't want to put pressure on you, the greatest midday show of all time coming in 1 minute. Okay? Did she just hit fail on that? Wow, Ramin. Okay. I see where the confidence is here. All right. Well, hey, it's going to be a good one, Neil. And then we have the real deal with Neil coming up. That should be a lot of fun. And then we'll go from there.
You had to have the camera on Ramin just there. I don't think she didn't mean that. Come on, we love you, Ram. But that was the best. That look, that smile,
Guys,
it was a little bit sheepish. I'm back into Intel, but you guys can always just check the second stream.
Right now, 13.
Just check the second stream. It's
Green
more
on.
Trader TV in the middle of the day. If there are issues with it, we can put some notes up underneath our last trades, so we're able to communicate with you guys every single day. It's 11 o'clock in a few seconds. Do not sleep on 18,000 on the NASDAQ in any
$15.
second. 18,000 is a double bottom on this NASDAQ overnight and yesterday. If that goes, it could be kaput. This is why I never say things like, I'm only going long. There's always a direction in the market that can surprise you, and you want to have ideas in both directions and be able to take those plays. But it's time to head to How to Trade. We'll be back. I'll be back for the lesson of the day at noon, and we'll be back at 2 o'clock to wrap up this week.
Wow.
For now, let's go to Sharif and Adara. See you guys.
What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade, formerly known as the Midday.